Yeah.
All right. So welcome.
Which one has the lipsticks? Oh, that's how we open the session.
Lipstick stains. How scandalous. Guys, this is an R62 podcast. Nobody who is not geriatric.
Libido.
Yeah, because those are the only people. Those are the only people that are safe. Everybody's going to be too turned on to focus. Okay.
Don't take your Viagra for this.
Welcome. Don't take your Viagra. We'll open with that. Don't. Welcome to session 1. What a great opening.
That can be our endorser.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's do that.
Sorry.
Session 1 of Oracle Accelerated Hichasu Triune. This campaign takes place sometime after the events of Genocide campaign, which if you haven't seen is on the channel as well. And after it follows our vanquished foes, who are now our protagonists, in their efforts to regain their power, because true evil never dies. Because then we would have no adventures to play.
That's true.
So, our story begins in the Abyss. We are in one of the 12 layers owned by Orcus. It is a place that is desolate and black. The ground appears scorched and cracked. It's dry. There are trees on this particular layer, but all of them are, as you would expect, leafless and twisted and dead. But we are in a remote town because, believe it or not, there are habitable places in the abyss because every layer of the abyss is controlled by the demon lord or the demon prince who owns it, and they can make it as habitable or uninhabitable as they like. And on this plane, he on this particular layer, he entertains visitors. He usually mortal servants who wish to commune with him or other. This is the last known location of Hano Yodo, the Dread Emperor, formerly the Dread Emperor, who over the past 6 months, let's say, let's say it's about 6 months in the time passing in the plains, let's say. We don't exactly know how well this translates to the mortal plane, but 6 months is long enough, as Hano has spent it discorporeated. Essentially, he is without a body. His entire existence is merely pain. He has spent it intimately knowing the inside of his own brain, as all he can hear is his own screaming for days on end. And though for Orcus it has been merely a reminder for Hano of the failings that he's committed, but 6 months of knowing nothing else becomes your eternity. Today, however, he finally corporeates Hano. He produces a body, and his body is, as you recall, his mortal remains, except dead and gray. His hair turning white, and his pallor pale and gray. He comes back to life to unlife on all fours, choking on a breath that he does not need to take. And he finds himself knee deep in maggots. He is essentially in some sort of humongous basin filled with maggots, and these maggots are about each the length and width of a hand span. And as they wiggle beneath them, he takes a look at them, and he sees that each of them has a face,
I knew it.
So disgusting.
a humanoid face. Some are elven, some are human, some are dwarven, but each of them has a face. They cannot speak, only groan as they wriggle beneath him. Orcus, who looms and towers over him about 15, 20 feet tall. He sort of squats down. Let's take a look at Orcus here.
I thought that was bad.
That's weird.
Orcus.
Okay.
Oh my.
He is huge, 15 to 20 feet tall.
Oh my.
You reckon? Those who would know what Orcus looks like, and you can search that up. But it is also the shape of the idols that have been sort of manifesting in people of the course fields.
Okay.
Well, in case you haven't got it by now, after listening to after listening to Murder in Shamori Village up to Genocide and here, idols have always been idols of Orcus. Because Orcus has been there from the start, and so he squats down towards in Hano inside of his maggot basin, and he says, "You have disappointed me, but not completely. Your efforts in Shamori village have at least allowed my machinations to progress elsewhere. But I need something from you. And perhaps if you achieve this goal, I may release you on the plains. But to do this, we need a little bit of a reunion." And so he calls his demons to him, and hundreds of dretches. Dretches are quasits. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of quasits begin to swarm in. Quasits are demonic imps, essentially, and they swarm inside. Yeah. And as all of their cuteness comes together, he squashes them all.
Oh, they're done.
He merely clenches his fist, and they all as one burst into a shower of blood. And the blood all begins to come together as if being sort of water bent into shape. And Felixis, you have up until this moment been in a semi-conscious state, because you are without a form, without a body. You are drawn back to your plane, which is woefully under-maintained, given your predilection for the mortal realms. You tend not to maintain a very good presence here in the abyss, and so you've sort of suffered for that in this. Not only do you only own one layer, but your layer is small and undermanned.
I remember why I don't like coming back here.
Yeah, that, and you have no body. Hard to be sexy without a body.
Body, the most important.
I know. Let's keep pushing that agenda.
Nobody, no.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue the adventure like this. You just have no body. That's all.
You know I need my assets.
Eternal punishment.
Yeah. That's how to punish Felixis. You make her a disembodied consciousness.
I'm possessing one of you. It'll happen.
Okay, and so Orcus draws forth from the abyssal layers. You can see the sky begins to sort of it begins to rumble and shake, and for a moment it flashes white with lightning as he begins to really draw forth from all of the powers of the 12 layers that he owns, and he rips your consciousness from your layer, pulling it into his.
I can tell if I like it or not.
Orcus feels. Orcus doesn't feel anything either way, really. So,
Can we get this minion to excite themselves?
he pulls your consciousness into this body that he has created for you out of hundreds and thousands of tiny demons, and you awaken in your mortal form. Which one? The super highlight one or the?
halal.
Or the semi-halal one?
Just the semi-halal.
Okay, good. Okay. Presentable for the Demon Lord. Got it.
Indeed.
Yeah, okay.
You need to be decent.
Yeah, yeah.
I am quite covered.
Okay. So he wrenches you back. And then he says, Velixes, you shame our kind.
Oh, well, the only one alone in this effort.
I brought you assistance in the form of Hano, and yet one who would call herself a demon lord such as I would lose so easily.
Well,
For once, your tongue is still. Wallow in your shame. And
sorry, I was just so happy finally getting these back, so...
he says, but you're not yet finished. I require aid. And he motions backwards, and a fiery portal opens up. It screams, almost literally, sounding like maddened voices and yeah, sure. Let's say nails on chalkboard.
Wow. Okay.
And the grating sound opens up, and you have about 7 cambions, seven cambions or cambion-like creatures who come through the portal carrying a large iron cage, a black iron cage made of. Well, it's black iron, but the metal is curved and twisted and spiked, and inside of it is a fairly large creature. It is bulbous and many tentacled.
Okay.
You recognize this immediately as Boshotab.
Okay.
That thing survived.
He says, I have collected a relic of your misadventure, but I can't get it to work. He says, but please, before I continue, I invite you to gorge yourself. And he motions to the pit of worms.
Excuse me.
You take a look down, and you take a look at these very large maggots with faces, and you recognize them now as soul larvae. When souls are brought down to the lower planes, which would be the evil ones, if they are unclaimed by particular demons or not immediately taken into our realm, they tend to devolve into soul larvae.
Oh, wow.
And soul larvae are the currency of the lower planes. They trade in souls because soul larvae can be spent, can be used to buy or exchange, but mostly its most significant feature is that it can be consumed by fiends and other creatures in the lower planes, and consuming souls increases their power.
Oh.
In fact, if a demon is strong enough, he can simply promote a demon by his own power. But if he's not, he might instead offer an amount of soul larvae upon which the demon can eat and will grow in power. He says, weak as you are, I need at least a modicum of power for you to achieve my ends. And he says, eat. And he takes Hano's head and just dunks him into the pit, and you can just sort of hear him choking and drowning in it.
Oh my gosh.
At least have a little more finesse, Hano.
He can't hear you. All he hears, if you can imagine, wriggling in your ears and squirm and
Like
wet
water.
squirming. That's all he can hear.
Don't tell me that you haven't gotten used to the sound yet.
Oh my god, that's true. That's true. Actually, he listens to it, and instead of it being absolutely crazy, he just thinks, "Deja vu." And so he once again he comes up for a breath that he doesn't need out of instinct, and
I slide in down with him.
he says, "I'd say it's a pleasure to see you again, but it really isn't."
Oh, darling, you know you need me. Now more than ever.
My master is around. I won't deign to respond to that.
I know.
Do you partake of the soul larva?
Yeah,
Okay.
I just slurp a few
Okay.
at my leisure.
All right. So you begin to consume.
Not the first wriggling thing I've had in my mouth.
Yes, also true. For reference, see hentai. I can.
Go to this Google link.
Yeah,
Go
let-
to link and
yeah.
how that do
Yeah. Go to the double. Yeah.
Provided by Lash,
So.
the source of the tentacles.
So Vilixus will choose the hentai that you're going to see in the link. So you can just for reference. Purely,
My coffee.
purely for visual pegs.
Some of them move
Yeah.
for your convenience.
She'll even add the timestamp that you're supposed to look at. Okay. That aside. He turns to the caged potion top, and already you can see that its demon guards are beginning to be on edge. They're constantly grating their teeth, and their wings quiver and twitch. And you can see that many of them are beginning to sort of lose control of their composure. They can't stand still. And Orcus says, "No matter how much torture I place upon it, it does not heed my will. I require that who created it. For this we have others." And the screaming portal disgorges yet another payload, and behind it this time is an angel of black wings and of white hair. She struggles valiantly against its demonic captors, but it is far out of its league. It does not even approach solar levels of powers, and even if it did, Orcus is akin to a god down here.
Bound hand and foot? Bound hand and foot?
Yeah,
Gagged?
no. It is screaming curses and promises of revenge, and he or she says, "Orcus, we thwarted you once on the prime material plane, and there is no way that your machinations will win against the Raven Queen." And Orcus merely chuckles. He says, "Brave words are all that you have left. I only require the vessel, not the mind." And
You can see this from the bottom of the map.
yeah, you're popcorning the.
I was about to say.
Yeah, you're
Hell
popcorning soul larva.
Cross legs.
Yeah.
This is always pleasant to watch.
And
Especially with snacks.
especially with sax.
Snacks.
Oh, okay, sax.
Okay.
Especially with sax.
Not what you initially thought, given everything that's come before this, by the way.
So he places a hand on the struggling angel's forehead, and it basically engulfs the entire head, given how large the size is at the moment. And he says, "Profane God, I call to you. I have a bargain to make. Heed my call and take this paltry vessel, and I will make it worth your while." And now the world begins to shake, and cracks come up in the ground, and you can see that this one is actually visibly draining Orcus as he reaches far across the plains, as if you would have this planar knowledge. The way the plains are constructed, they are sort of concentric rings, but the far realm is beyond all of this. It's called the far realms because it is the furthest possible, and it's outside of the known multiverse. It's not mapped at all. It exists between worlds. Eula Hashiel, this is new. this is a new sensation. You've studied what you've heard of them, and you have heard accounts of people that are returned from here, but you did not think that the far realms would be so incomprehensible.
Alright. Wow.
It is a world where madness is reality, where thought and emotion are thought and emotion can be physical things that you can see and that you can touch. When a creature feels anything, it manifests. It can possibly manifest in the world randomly.
Wow.
And here, the insane prosper as the further from mortal thinking the further from mortal thinking that you get, the more the reality can make sense for you. Even to travel forward through what you would call space requires many latitudes of thinking.
Oh, wow.
Like you must comprehend going forward with your physical body, as well as through your thoughts, in order to progress. And in your first periods, you were basically paralyzed for several weeks or days on end, as you could not even figure out how to move in this realm. But slowly madness overtook you, as it already had in the beginning, and the more insane you became, the more things made sense. And then soon you could understand beings, you could see them, and you realized that space and thought are the same in this realm. And so the inside of your head is also the outside, is also the exterior that you experience. And the greater your presence, the greater your presence in this realm, the more you can force others to conform to you. And so you encountered, or peripherally encountered, or orbited essentially creatures such as the Cthulhu. Old ones who are so large and in their sense of scale that to them the multiverse is not significant enough to warrant attention, and it is a speck floating in the other realms that do exist. And so they don't deign to participate, and you can see now that their powers are peripherally sometimes being siphoned off into the prime material planes.
Oh, I can see that.
And that some great old ones can be pacted with without their knowledge, without their they don't care.
Too big to give a shit.
But you are caught on the winds of their passing. I mean, whenever a great old one deigns to have a thought, it becomes a maelstrom in your area.
Okay.
Wow.
And now appears clarity. In a realm without reason, there is a clear thought, and it is come to the abyss. And you don't know whether to heed this now that you're starting to make sense of this world. But for the first time, it appears as if you are being called back to the realm that you came from. It would take you. Otherwise, you can feel that latent energy of Hadar after having consumed him. It is within you, and it's going to grow once more. And over a significant amount of time, you might once again be able to force your way back through the veil, essentially back into the multiverse. But now something immediate offers its hand to you. Do you latch on to this call?
It'll take a while for me to adjust because it is an actual language now compared
exactly.
to the beings that are like just actual thoughts.
Yeah.
That are trying to communicate with me. So, but after a while, I will reply and say, who is summoning me?
He says, a once ally, and perhaps can be again.
Are you referring to Hano?
He says, Hano is one of my champions. Orcus, Lord of Undeath, summons you, and you would do well to heed it, lest you wish to remain banished for the next 1,000 years.
Can you hear this from this end of the conversation?
Sure.
Really? Sure, fine. Use his name to summon back the profane god.
He turns to you, he says, summoning you was such a paltry event. It didn't need much ritual.
Because you're in the same lane, or yeah. It's just okay.
Oh, don't let me disturb you. Go on, go on.
He says, someone is impatient to see you.
I will heed your summon. Is it Lord Orcus?
Okay.
Take me back to where Hano is.
He takes hold of you in your mental grasp and pulls you through the plains. But in plane of essential thought and madness, your mind is all that he can really take, and so you are brought screaming into this vessel, and you experience the last thoughts of the angel whose body you now occupy.
Oh, okay.
And you can see that he or she is merely recalls the last warmth of interaction that he or she has ever had, which was to ferry the soul of a kindly old, one of the oldest elves who had existed at the time, ferrying his soul gently to the other planes, having a decent conversation and wishing them luck on their journey. And then it is gone as you take over the body, and as you come in, there is sort of a whiplash of energy as it rocks his body back and forth, and you have sort of brought the far realm in with you, and your self-thought, what you imagine yourself to be, it takes over the body itself, and the flesh warps itself. And you can see that the flesh at first is liquid, shaping itself into your final form.
Never seen that before.
And you take on your mortal form.
So cool. Was there screaming?
From the angel.
From the angel at first.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that sound.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so
I think it looks much better now, don't you?
Hano just looks at you quietly. He just keeps
I
eating.
honestly wish I could say the same for you, Hano.
This is going to be a lot of me not answering you. I refuse to be provoked.
In front of
Good luck with that.
Not yet.
Okay. It's too early in this campaign to be provoked.
For TPK. Anyway.
Yeah.
And then we're all maggots.
He just inspires everyone to kill us, and then he just comes back by himself.
Actually.
Yeah. That's always my exit plan. I just get us in the most trouble as much as possible, and then we all die, and I come back, and then you just go. Okay.
Just kidding.
My allies are my enemy.
I'm gonna take Mage Slayer.
These are both up.
I know.
Okay. So he says, and finally your reunion is complete. The Triune together once more. Let us see if you can succeed this time.
Oh, you are too gracious, Lord Orcus.
He says, I do not do it for your benefit, but for mine. I need something done, and your variety of skills may prove to be useful. Your actions on the prime material have not displeased me as much as people would think. You failed to slay the Archfey, but you took for me many souls. You distracted the forces of good, while my machinations on the southern lands of Kalin proceed unhindered. You call many of Kalin's heroes to the north. And now my plans can proceed forward. It is time to proceed to the next phase of the plan, but I require something. I saw what this creature does, and he nods over to Boshatab, and Boshatab begins to project thoughts upwards. To everyone else, it is gibberish. It sounds like backmasked speech on a tape.
Cool.
It is this inhuman lower register of voice, and it sounds like it's speaking backwards at all, and you cannot. Yeah, you couldn't. Unfortunately, backmasking doesn't exist in this world, but
It does now.
it does now. Yeah. So, but to anyone afflicted with a madness, which would be Lahashiel, he speaks to you. I serve only the profane god, and Orcus says, I do not understand what it speaks.
Don't feel too bad, Lord Orcus, neither do we.
But that is why we have summoned Lahashiel. And he says, your pet can create these parasites. I require them. I wish to break a stalemate that has existed for millennia. I wish to reignite the blood wars. To all planar people, all planar entities present, which would be everyone. The blood wars, you would know, are the ancient wars between devils and demons. They stalemated several millennia ago, and so they have just been fighting in skirmishes. So it's been a very, very, very long time since they've gone all-out war again. And the stalemate exists because the demons are infinite and many and powerful, but fractured, and no demon lord wishes to maintain an alliance for very long with other demon lords because of their chaotic nature. It's just difficult to maintain alliances in that regard. And the devils, who are much fewer and much weaker, are very well organized, and their defenses are maintained and they by armies, and they suffer, and so their defenses are strong, and so they have created a sort of a stalemate for millennia, and so they've just stopped dedicating themselves to this war. And occasionally fighting breaks out across the lower plains, but never something that all-out war goes, because every demon lord is afraid to commit to
A cause this big.
yeah, because if only one or two demon lords commit to the cause, they will be defeated by the devils, and if the devils attack a demon lord in the abyss, it might provoke. It might be the uniting uniting factor amongst the demons, and demons number in such multitudes that it is said that when if all of the abyss were to unite, none of the planes could stop them. And
Like a hive, the angriest fleas.
yeah, because most devils are created by the promotion sort of souls, right? So you create more devils, but demons are spawned from the abyss, and also they can be created also. So
A lot more in number in general.
yeah, and the full title of the abyss is the infinite layers of the abyss, for a reason, because there's just no end. As you would well know, because you're a demon lord yourself, you're a demon princess yourself, but there are many such demon princesses across many layers. Some of them just don't deign to really notice creatures outside of their layers. Right.
They need to get out more.
You need to stay home more.
Lahashiel thinks he wished that by triggering the blood war would actually obliterate both devils and demons, but he's just thinking that. But he asks
Orcus can read minds. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
He asks, what do you intend to accomplish by triggering the blood war?
Both sides of this faction wish for the blood wars to continue, but not until it is in their favor.
Of course. Okay.
I aspire to something great. I wish to create a cult of undeath in the hells.
Okay.
Ambitious.
He says,
I like it.
if your creature could create a parasite that I will infect with undeath, I wish for it to take one of the lieutenants of the archdukes and begin inciting a cult within their ranks.
Wow, okay.
I wish to spread this infection, this parasite that spreads my worship, my influence through their armies. With their ranks fractured, we will stand a chance of victory. Once one hell is broken, the rest will fall as the demons sense weakness. The abyss hungers for blood. He says, I need only for you to command your pet to give me the self-reproducing parasites that I need. And then you will take these parasites to the hells and infect a devil of prominence.
I haven't been to the hills in so long.
I'm sure they will miss you.
Everyone does.
Of course, Orcus. I like this plan of yours. I will command the Boshotab regarding these parasites, so that your plan can commence.
That would be in the interest of all of us. I am not without my gratitude, as you can see. And he turns to the now healthier looking Hano, who's beginning to get who's now being assisted by demons, being placing his armor back on. And he says, Hano is still alive. That is gratitude enough. He says, Hano just bows and he says, thank you, my master, for providing me with this second opportunity. He says, it is nothing to me, but I will set you loose. You do this favor for me, and I will take you to Sigil. He says, and in Sigil, you can pursue your own ends. I will sponsor this journey. You know that Sigil is a city. It is the center of the multiverse. It is the city of portals. It is the crossroads. It is the city from which all planes converge into one. And so it is an interplanar sort of city, and creatures of all sorts can be found there. Angels and fiends and mortals alike. Almost every race in the multiverse, every creature can be found there. It is a metropolis in the Outlands, which is the center of all things. And it is ruled by the Lady of Pain. The Lady of Pain is a vastly powerful power of the plains. Okay, so from now on, I'll be using a lot of this terminology. A power is short for power of the plains, indicating a godlike creature. So gods, archdukes, demon lords or demon princes, old gods, and primordials. All of these fall under powers. They are the powers of the plains. Right. So she has the Lady of Pain allows Sigil to govern itself. The Lady of Pain has only two laws in Sigil. No power may set foot in Sigil. and no army can march through Sigil
Ah.
Oh, okay.
because Sigil accesses all other planes, and so it would be advantageous for powers to be able to march their armies through them and
That's
straight into
true.
the realms of their choosing.
Bridge to anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And it allows essentially powers to to enter planes without being summoned. Similar to how you typically have to slowly seduce followers, and then you have to get them to build a cult, and then you have to get them to accrue enough
summon.
magical power to summon you into the world. So that takes a lot of time and effort.
Yeah.
But if you could simply walk through a portal to get there, then you could. Then it would be much easier. However, the Lady of Pain forbids it, and the Lady of Pain is a neutral creature. She doesn't fight for good, doesn't fight for evil, only for the laws of Sigil. And she is powerful, and she is the strongest of the powers.
Oh.
That makes sense.
She, no power that has set foot in Sigil has ever been able to cross, to be able to break her laws.
Cool.
So they are ejected instantly or exiled outwards back into their planes. So no one can stand against the Lady of Pain. And
Why is she called the Lady of Pain?
nobody knows. Nobody knows her origin. Nobody. She is this. She has always been, as far as everybody else is concerned. Not even gods can recall
How she came about.
how she came about. When gods were young, she was old. And so, yeah, she's Master Time of the Plains, except with sans erotica. Okay, so
You don't know why she's called the Lady of Pain.
that's true. That's true. She doesn't even like. She doesn't particularly even like to torture people, which is strange.
Has she ever been
You-
seen though?
Yes, she has been seen. She appears when somebody breaks her laws. So when she appears,
You're screwed.
you're probably screwed. If you are anything less than a power, you're probably dead. And so those are the only two laws that exist in Sigil, and the rest are self-governance. And Orcus says, while I could have granted you more of my power to manifest you closer to your true selves,
We wouldn't be able to step foot in the city otherwise.
this is exactly my thinking. It is easier to disguise your presence in your currently mortal forms. I warn you, when you go to Sigil, hide your identities well, lest be slain by the Lady of Pain.
Okay.
Not a game I'd like to play. Bit too
But-
dangerous even for my tastes.
You can begin your journey back to the plains, back to the prime material, to accrue your power once more, or go forth wherever you desire from Sigil. And I will hide your presence and sponsor your stay there. I will even set you forth with a degree of wealth to begin your journey. But first, a favor. First the hells. First the parasites and my cult. And when this is accomplished, I will make sure that you are taken care of. And from then on, your fate is your own. Including yours, Hano. Eat more. Thank you, Master. As he opens, he breaks Hano's jaw, opening it up and just stuffing things in. And it heals back painfully.
Oh.
You can unhook your jaw. That's
I know.
super sexy.
I know. I didn't know you could do that, Hana.
I didn't know you could do that too.
Where is Boshotab?
Boshotab is being released from his cage.
Okay. Can I like
Yeah,
communicate?
yeah, absolutely. You have on you the helm of telepathy.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can feel free to be to communicate telepathically because it's an at will here on this. If you notice that your detect thoughts is an at will on the helm of telepathy.
Oh really?
No
What
DC, but
does
you
it?
can cast as many times as you want.
Oh really? That.
It does not say that you can only cast it a number of
Select
times.
Okay. All right. I will tell Orcus. I will try to communicate with the Boshotab.
Please.
Right. Okay. So I send my thoughts or my will towards Boshotab, and
He's,
communicate.
upon making contact, it is you sense a thought of pure ecstasy. It becomes as sort of it feels like a you have you imagine a cog being placed. You imagine the last piece of a puzzle being put down, and what that piece is feeling at that very moment. It suddenly feels complete. It seems to feel fulfillment as your mind contacts it.
I sit in the bowl of worms and I just watch this while slurping one and saying, "Oh, I love reunions."
It screams.
Is it an elf maggot? It's always the elf.
I'm looking for, like when
You
you're
pick out
looking
the
for
elves.
a particular
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah. Oh, you can have the elves. I don't like the elves. They taste funny.
Always.
I like, give me the human males to remind me of someone.
They taste organic.
You know what those things remind me of? Soul larva. The creature. You know who else has soul larva? Little Mermaid. What's her name?
Ursula.
Ursula has those
Yeah,
soul.
those little
She has soul larva,
things. Poor unfortunates.
which is also true because hags exist across the plains as well. So they
She might be
actually,
a sea hag.
Perfectly
yeah,
apt.
they might be a sea hag. Yeah. Because hags actually, soul larvae tend to collect mostly in the Hades, the realm of Hades. Hades is the realm of neutral evil. Is the plane of neutral evil. Here go the unclaimed souls. If you don't worship, if your soul is not attuned to an entity or even a particularly strong belief or planar alignment, you will tend to be drawn to the Hades, where you suffer gloom and depression, and until you are reduced to soul larva.
I pick one up by the tail and I go, "Oh, you poor little thing." And then I slurp it.
And little by little, you can just feel your power growing as you continue to consume it.
I indulge in the feeling, oh, I can actually partake in something again.
So, you touch minds with Boshotab.
So
What do you say? Yeah.
Don't mind me, I'm just watching.
Yeah, she
I
likes to
am
watch.
watching this intimacy.
Yeah, I've noticed. So I regained the familiarity again of the far realms by communicating with Boshotab, and I say, how long have you been in prison in this cage?
He says, I wandered the prime material for ages, taken by these demons. They lack imagination. Their torture is paltry. I can conceive greater. Give me purpose. Give me insanity.
I'm sorry that you've been bored to death here, my friend. I promise to set you free. But in one condition. We have been tasked again to be set out into the prime material plane, but we will be needing your parasites again, like I've always have.
It is my purpose for which you constructed me. I will do as you command.
I think they're getting along. Don't you think they're getting along, Hannah?
I can't tell. It's just complete silence.
Just staring
I mean,
at each other.
yeah.
Eat your maggots, darling.
Yeah.
He looked at me like that, back when you were up there.
Boshotab?
No.
See link to hentai below.
Oh my gosh, Boshotab experts. Anyway, then I say to Orcus, Boshotab is willing to do his duty of creating his parasites for your machinations. I suggest that you set him free.
He closes his grip and the bars melt away, and Boshataba floats free. He says, "Finally, Master, will we create armies again?"
I say, yes. We with your parasites, we will be making we will be starting a cult army.
Let us begin.
Oh, goody, are we going to start getting minions?
I say, thank you, Demon Lord.
Orcus says, "With demons and devils alike, gratitude is unnecessary. We each do as we will, because we will it. Never forget this when you go to the hells. Everything has its price. That being said, I would not send you on a mission of my choosing, ill-equipped." He says, he opens up a chasm in the center of all of you, and out from it you can hear groans and screams and moaning of hundreds and thousands of mortal souls.
Ooh,
And
music to my ears.
he opens up a bag, a bag constructed of human flesh leather, and you can see the worms beginning to drift out, being pulled out as if gravity had reversed itself, but attracted only the maggots, and so you can see their individual faces, and you as they pass, and they are all gathered up, and as you see them, you see that most of them are human, and most of them are Shomori. And they begin to call to enter the bag as he takes them, and as the screaming stops, he says, "1,000 souls, a fraction of what you have brought to me in your endeavor."
A fraction.
He says,
We did have a lot of fun up there.
"The corpse fields provided me with such sustenance."
Hano had a lot of fun up there.
Hano says, "I have no idea what you're talking about. Fun was the last thing on my mind."
Clearly.
As the souls collect within the bag, he hands it to you. He says, "Be careful of what you spend this on, but it is yours to spend as you desire. Amongst the lower planes we deal in souls, and you hold with you 1,000 Shomori souls. Each can pay for any number of things or empower creatures that you desire. Though you may hunger, I suggest that you restrain yourself. If you engorge too much, I may not be able to bring you to Sigil."
Self-control has never been one of my strengths, but...
Amen. Says Hano, and he's I did not speak.
From you.
I should not have spoken out of turn. And so he hands the soul back to you, and it is your bag of holding now. Also,
All right.
Nash, you'll be a dear and carry that thing, won't you? Unless you want me to.
I try not to cringe at the souls. Yeah, alright, I will.
every time you open it, anybody who opens it can hear. It doesn't go beyond anybody else. But if you are the person opening it, you can see individual faces wriggling inside of the bag. But also, and also screaming. And whenever you reach in as well, you hear cries for help and aid and deliverance. And
I'm feeling low. I opened the bag. Oh, there's something suffering more than I am. I feel better now.
I try not to shake my head.
Hano makes a point to gloat later on to the bag.
I've been defeated, but you're screwed over.
You win, but I'm out here and you're in there. Yeah, mental notes for later. So
Hashtag little pleasures.
he says, "You will need this to make your ways in the hells. But beyond this, you must provide for yourself."
Haven't done that in a while.
Bolshuttab will remain here. Take his parasites when he is finished. Take the most likely candidate for infection. Infect him, and then return. That is all that I require.
So do we take a parasite with us now? Or do we simply take the devil here?
I do not wish to enlighten the devils to my plan.
Of course.
Infect him there. I have a means, an entry, an ally of sorts in the hells. Someone we would not traditionally consort with, but for the meantime, the alliance is convenient. I will deliver you directly to her domain on Avernus when you are ready.
I look myself over.
I try to collect a parasite first from Bolshuttab.
Bolshuttab provides you with 30 eggs, all of them this small, like pearls, essentially. They're like pearls, and they hatch in your command.
Alright.
Those bring back so many good memories.
Enough to infect a number of individuals. Ideally, the first will be for whoever the leader is, and then he, once infected, will sort of be
Planting them.
he will become immediately influenced swayed to the worship of Orcus.
Like a
Secretly.
parasitic pyramid scheme.
Yeah, exactly. And then soon, and they will spread, and they will self-propagate, and hopefully, reignite the blood wars. But when it does, the defenses of the devils should be weakened, allowing Orcus to win against multiple archdukes at the same time. That is the plan. Whether it succeeds is up to you. And so, whenever you are ready, unless you would like to have something or to ask for something, or you're in the abyss. You were a stone's throw, I suppose, from your lair. And,
Is there any? Oh well, I never liked it enough to stay. So
You're not inviting us, the boys,
into my lair.
to your crib.
Yeah, but if you can imagine, her crib right now is so completely uninhabited. It is a barren wasteland.
You've been to my palace, darling. I think that's all I'd ever wanted to say.
Wait, is there some sort of innuendo going on here? What's your palace?
House of Desire.
Oh, okay. If I could still sweat, I'd wipe it because.
Hano, I think you have a little something over here, darling. And I point to your lip.
Oh,
And then I just slam your head down into the maggots again.
I'm reminded of why infinite torture was much better than this.
Oh, you know you need us more than ever. You can't say no.
It is good to be back.
As soon as we're in the hells, I'm gonna smite you.
Where do we,
Damage their fiends.
He says so desperately.
where do we go next?
Okay. So, will you, whenever you are ready, unless you would like to, I mean, a demon prince stands before you, and he is a significant one, one of the more powerful ones.
Flash wants to get out of here because this place is disgusting.
Hano wants to get out of here because he can't smite you in front of the master.
That's two.
I like staying because it's my kind of home turf. And
I kicked the
seeing
larva.
Hano squirm.
The wisdom?
No.
You know. Well, you have been in the material planes for much longer before we had to exit. What's happened since we were gone? I look at this.
Wavy. As you flash back to all of a series of events and genocide, and then it comes back to him and he goes, I don't want to talk about it. Needless to say, we were really badly beaten, and you guys didn't help me at all. You fought them. You were two of you at the same time. Couldn't even beat them. However, I did catch the Oni twins. They came over to my side.
The Oni twins, those two were nuisance. Especially the blue one.
Really?
That blue one.
They were really easy to sway over to my side. I mean, I think, come to think of it, maybe we should have started with that. Maybe I should have offered them the House of Gluttony first before they. I don't know.
You couldn't get the warlock. You couldn't get the cleric.
The cleric is the one that I have a beef with, because I killed the warlock multiple times.
And stay dead.
Because there's a cleric. Goodness, I should have, come to think of it, focus fired the cleric. Should have killed that cleric first. And when I think about it, I should have sat on my damn ass for those first 30 seconds. I thought I could win.
And everything in hindsight.
Hindsight, is that some sort of innuendo again? I don't know, everything you say just sounds dirty now.
I do so like it when you're this vocal, Hano. You should do it more.
It's just that the pressure's off now to rule my people. And now there's no ruling. We're gonna go up there and I'm gonna stomp them into the ground and stuff them in the soul bag and laugh at them and gloat over their
I put a hand on your
heads.
shoulder and I say, save the warlock and the cleric if we ever come across either.
Oh my goodness! If we ever cross their paths again, I will do unspeakable things.
Get in line, honey.
He says, well, if you are ready, I suppose we should continue this venture. So,
I sneak one last soul larva. I mean, it's right there, it's free.
that's true. And every bite that you take, every larva that you consume, inflates your power significantly. And,
Inflates things. For the silence.
thinking about... No, there's no possible word I could have used there that would have not been twisted by you. So really, there's... Yeah, okay. These are, from now on, I'll just have awkward pauses and then just move on in response. Yeah. Let's stand here and mourn a moment of silence for my momentum.
This is why we have the warning in place.
Okay, so as you well know, by the will of Asmodeus, no planar teleportation spell can penetrate the lower levels. All interplanar transportation would end with put you onto the first hell of Avernus.
Point of entry.
Always.
Okay.
And thus it sort of creates this low layer of defenses.
Yeah.
Can't start from anywhere but here.
Exactly.
Wow.
So, with your permission, Orcus rips a hole into reality, another screening portal, and then now you can see that this layer is beginning to fade. Really, you can see the horizon now, and it's beginning to come closer, as if the world itself is shrinking.
Had I known you were this hospitable beforehand, I would have approached you so many other times before this, Lord Orcus.
I would have slain you long ago. You've been, up until this moment, you've been beneath my notice. And also on the planetary plane. So
Make you eat your words.
just do this for me and get out of my lair.
Wow,
I can see where Hano takes it from.
Orcus cannot.
If you would like to stay a while, then perhaps you can, and I will obliterate you, and you can exist no more.
Just because you were too shy to say anything beyond these two doesn't mean you have to hide it from me.
You were sucked into unceremoniously, and break a few limbs on the way. As you were sucked through the portal before it's wide enough to take you.
I can really tell where Hano takes it from.
But you were spit out, none the worse for wear, still on the rejuvenating power of consuming your soul worms on the other side. Once the portal is wide enough, you're free to step through the remaining non-provocative members of the party.
Oh, he's just shy.
Oh goodness, you're the reason that.
Are you implying that Orcus is Chunsun?
Yeah, Chunsun Orcus. That's totally a thing.
He just never admitted it.
Demonic Tsundere demon lords.
You know, give us gifts, send us on our way.
See
sponsor
hentai
the
below.
And then say, I never wanted you here, go away. Just go on.
Okay. A moment of silence for my momentum. Okay. Now, let's proceed. Immediately the world plane shifts literally, and you are sort of taken out of your element, Felixis. You know that the planes are aligned morally. They are not simply places, because the astral plane, they're planes of thought, of belief. And previously you were in the abyss, which is the plane of chaotic evil. And so, being evil, you're at least half aligned. You're at least half aligned to the plane, but the chaotic side sort of grates on you, which is probably why you are so quick to try to get away. But here is the plane of lawful evil, and now you feel restrained. You feel forced into place. You feel as if you had. You feel that it is not Freedom Friday.
I don't know, I kind of like it, but at the same time I don't.
Welcome to my everyday.
I shiver.
Okay. You have been to Avernus before on a few forays previously. I mean, if only just to see, because
Only for the feeling.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, go.
Exactly. Creatures as powerful as you would be free to come in and out. Nobody stops. Nobody guards plane shifts to Avernus, because what will you do when you get here?
Who has the balls?
Yeah, exactly. And so it's not uncommon to stop by in Avernus, just if only to see the status of the hells. And so here now you appear, and though you've been here in this plane before, because Avernus is the largest of the hells, and it let me familiarize you with the politics of devils, as there are many archdevils, but there are only 9 archdukes. An archdevil may possibly is an aspiring archdukes are always archdevils, but archdevils are not always archdukes.
Oh, okay.
As it requires a devil of that amount of power to become an archduke. But the defining factor that controls who and who is not an archduke or an archduchess is Asmodeus. Asmodeus decides who gets to be an archduke and who gets to be an archduchess.
So like promotion basis.
Yeah. And only through him. And so devils are politicking creatures. They on the surface they are all aligned. They're under a hierarchy. They submit to the rule of law. They respect their superiors, but really they are all out to all out to bring each other down and rise to the top themselves. And so it is this mix of duplicitous behavior that you have a front face and but you are doing something behind. Let's have a moment of silence.
I don't even have to say anything at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just watching out for your stuff.
Expressions.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep up. I should keep up a tally, and then we're gonna see which episode has the most.
And we barely started.
I know. Yeah. So
Are you gonna talk
you are in a volcanic valley, sort of a surrounded by mountains and volcanoes, and in the center is magma coming up.
Oh, okay.
Do we see that?
Yeah, you do see a dragon. Surprising. Well, not entirely, as you see a dragon in Avernus, and it is many times larger than you in your mortal forms. As in your mortal form, you are medium. And,
Is it familiar at all?
Pardon?
Is it familiar at all?
No, not that you would know. It's a red dragon.
Oh, do you see that, Hano? You once had a pet like that, didn't you?
Oh, Vositus. I still have access to him a little bit. I mean, but he's not a pet. He's a friend.
I'm sure, honey.
The only friend. I don't count you.
Because I'm more? Ah! I was water.
So there's this dragon. I'm gonna go over.
I pulled him back. Oh, we barely started.
Very
Try not
sorry.
to lose your head. It's what got you into this mess in the first place.
If I lost my head, I would still survive.
We're gonna have a problem here, Lash.
The red dragon lumbers forward, and he says, "I have been expecting you."
Oh, you're a friend. Hi.
He says, "The queen desires your presence."
The queen.
You know, those are two words I was very familiar with once upon a time.
This way.
I follow.
He says, "You walk too slow." Upon
We
my
only
back,
have to. There you go.
quickly
Fashion
before I
alert.
singe you.
Okay. Alright, I assist Dilixis on the back
Thank
of
you,
the dragon.
darling.
Once you're upon his back, he flies you through a series of tunnels. But these tunnels are cavernous. They are titanic. They must have been carved out by a creature large as a mountain, because it is large enough for this ancient red dragon, this gargantuan creature, to fly through with its wingspan, with its wings fully extended.
Sounds male.
The dragon, yes, it does.
Sir, may we have your name? It's only polite.
This is, it is unimportant to the likes of you. The queen wishes to know. The queen wishes to speak with you, and the queen will speak with you.
Which queen do you serve?
The only queen, Tiamat.
Oh,
Yaman.
And he.
do I know Tiamat?
Oh my goodness! Yes, you would.
What do I know?
Tiamat is the queen of dragons.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
There are only two dragon gods.
Oh, okay.
They are brother and sister. Bahamut,
Ah!
the god of metallic dragons, the god of goodness and justice, of loyalty and altruism. He is the god worshipped primarily by the metallic dragons, those aligned typically with good. The silvers, the golds, the bronzes, and Tiamat is his sister, the queen of chromatic dragons.
Should have guessed that whole twin thing just from looking at what we're writing.
Yeah. It was obvious. No.
Let's
So
get back asses.
Tiamat is the queen of chromatic dragons. She is the god of vengeance and greed.
We're getting off.
You may or may not have been aware that she resides currently on Avernus.
Ah,
Not typically somewhere that you would find a chaotic evil deity.
I know. Oh, she's chaotic evil.
Yes. The alignment of most metallic dragons is lawful good, aligned to Bahamut's worship, and the majority of chromatic dragons, red, blues, blacks, whites, are chaotic evil, which aligns with
Even white.
even whites.
Chaotic good.
Chaotic evil.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
There are typically, I mean, it's not an absolute rule because you will have your exceptions, but
Still evil.
typically all chromatic dragons, anything that you could describe by a color, are chaotic evil. And any metallic dragon, anything that you would describe as a metal,
The metal.
is lawful good. Typically. And you fly for hours. It is such a great, and you note that you are descending actually into the bowels of this mountain. And until finally you reach a pit in the ground, a massive gargantuan pit, which could swallow the entirety of Shomori Palace.
Okay.
That's so big.
The ancient dragon sets you down, flies down, and he says, "My queen, I bring the visitors that you were waiting for." And there is a rumbling from below. A female voice just sort of shakes the earth. It says, "Welcome to my domain, young ones." And
Bow.
there is,
Oh, I heard it.
you can see flashes of light from beneath this pit essentially. But this circle is constructed, not merely carved out of stone. You can see that there are stonework and ancient carvings as well, and it seems to be sort of set up in a ritualistic manner. And you can feel the rumbling through the earth and hear great. You can hear pieces of rock really just falling, like as if an avalanche is moving. And out come the roaring 5 heads of Tiamat.
Oh, okay.
She is.
Oh, wow. So cool.
Tiamat has 5 heads, each representing the 5 primary chromatic colors. Each of them looks hungrily at you, and she is to this ancient dragon what you are to the ancient dragon in size.
My lady, you are as beautiful as I've always heard you to be.
She says, "You flatter me." So has somebody briefed you on how to deal with me?
What do I know?
She, as the patron of all chromatic dragons, shares the majority of their traits. She is vain, greedy, and vengeful.
Sounds familiar.
Best buds? GFFs?
Sisters.
Sisters?
Yeah.
Oh my god. You're like on the phone with Tiamat and
So, oh my gosh, guess what? Orcas are such a tsundere.
I know, right? My blue head tried to court him once.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So she looks down on you rather hungrily. Each of the other heads always constantly looking around. Not only around, only 2 or 3 heads ever focused on you at any one time. And she seems to speak alternating words from different heads, from each head.
Well, in a form this unusually diminutive, even for me, I can say it's an honor to be standing right in front of you, if only better to appreciate your glory, my queen.
And bask in it you should. So few visitors I have here. It is a shame to waste all of this majesty.
And I'm sure it would be such an honor to bask in it some more, but I'm sure you'd prefer for us to be useful.
That is true, but creatures with such honeyed tongues as you should feel welcome in my domain, so long as you know who to praise.
But of course,
And she says,
there is nothing else that matches your glory, my queen.
as it should be, and always will. And she says, but the demon is impatient, and he wishes for his plan to be executed. And I need a little bit of entertainment. She says, trapped as I am in the nine hells, I desire for this locale to be a little bit more lively. And I think a demonic cult is just the right thing to make it livelier, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
The blood wars, imagine what chaos that would bring.
And right to your doorstep.
Yes, I have a front row seat to the demise of Asmodeus and all who serve him. She says, I have cordial relations with some of the archdukes and duchesses here, and I have managed to get a hold of information that perhaps may be of use to you. And I have offered this to your Lord Orcus, she says, gesturing to Hanul, and perhaps I would leave the decision up to you. I have found you require a lieutenant, a second in command. One who is not immediately under scrutiny of Asmodeus, but is sufficiently influential as to start a large enough following without interruption.
Your glory is only overshadowed by your intellect, my lady.
Oh, that is not my only feature. The blue head and the green head seem to preen at her own words.
Her own words.
Yeah. And one of her wings just gently, just sort of she seems to almost be like a bird grooming her feathers as she is. So self-satisfied.
Yeah, her movements are quite familiar.
Whoa, it's like Velixis in dragon form.
Yeah, maybe he's thinking that. It's a good thing my thoughts do not materialize.
Oh crap, I'm wearing the helm of telepathy.
Can I say I have a tail that's long enough to, I don't know, wrap around people's mouths, just in case?
Shut up! Oh wait, it doesn't affect telepathy.
Oh no, I just like restraining you. Anyway, go on.
Okay, so she says two such lieutenants exist on different layers of the hells. One is more straightforward than the other, but the other might be more enjoyable to you. She says the first one isn't very far. It's on Avernus, at the brass citadel, at the bronze citadel, the realm of Zariel, the current Archduchess of Avernus. She says her lieutenant, Gaynor the Unbreakable, and as she says his name, three of the heads just roll eyes. The Unbreakable.
How do you spell Gaynor?
Gainor.
The Unbreakable.
He is prideful. He's reckless. He's earned a reputation for being a skilled combatant, and his name merely invites his fall. But nobody has taken it yet, or succeeded at it. But the opportunity presents itself. If you were to launch an assault on the walls of the bronze citadel and perhaps provoke his pride, he might be tempted to come out himself, and maybe then you might subdue him. Fairly straightforward, as I said, but you will need an army.
But the brilliant earliest ones tend to be so unimaginative. And as I say that, I look at Hana. But not like you. Once upon a time.
Hano, it goes over Hano's head.
I see
What are we
that
talking
one
about?
of your charm. I see that one of the things you've lost was your charm. Whatever you had left of it.
My wisdom is a 0. I cannot intuit what you are saying.
Ah,
You, Lady Tiamat, you mentioned that he is known for his skills in combat. Is it safe to assume that he also has the most competent army among?
That he does. The devils that exist on Avernus are some of the most skilled combatants. They are the first line of defense against demons.
so stiff.
Oh, please tell me about it. She says, you will need an army, but nothing that a few souls cannot purchase, I feel.
Yes.
And I have been informed that you would be presented with some resources to spend. You can form an army and assault the gates and tempt Gaynor to approach you in single combat, and perhaps you might bring him down low. Not slay him, but incapacitate him for long enough for your master's wishes. That should be fairly easy for you, but
I imagine it in my head.
rather boring. And the second would take you to the third hell, Minaros.
Denoros?
Minaros. Minaurus. Minaros. Minaurus.
Size of the tablet in it.
Minaros. This is the realm of Mammon, the Archduke of Greed. Rotund as he is a devil after my own heart. Our thirst for wealth and power is never quite quenched. Now, Mammon is known for his tendency to consort with allies from across the plains. You see, he's not very liked down here. The other archdukes think of him as sycophant of Asmodeus, groveling and fawning at Asmodeus's feet, and so he has the most difficulty creating alliances with archdukes. He looks to the plains, and surprisingly, a number of powers do support him. But today he's holding a gala. Yes, hosted by one of his most trusted ambassadors, Ecanus the Silver Tongue.
Canis?
Ecanus, E-C-A-N-U-S.
The silver tongue.
Ecanus the Silver Tongue, one of his most trusted ambassadors. A gala for his new allies and sponsors. A number of planar entities will be in attendance for this celebration of alliances, and I have a ticket in, if you so please, to join the party.
That sounds so much more fun already.
Hano says, I think we should just fight.
This is the time I wrap my tail around his mouth. But Kayla, I'm sure something of that extent down here is so much grander than anything in the party.
It's just a party, let's fight!
I tightened my tail around his mouth. Hello, exercise some finesse. Try to find it deep within your being.
I'm empty inside. So he says, this Icanus will be hosting this gala on behalf of Mammon, and many planar allies will be in attendance. And I have indicated to Ekanos and Mammon that I may be sending somebody his way that he may desire to meet. If such a thing were worthy of your fancy.
Oh, my lady. It's as if you read my mind.
Oh, I knew from the moment I heard your exploits on the prime material plane that we would be best friends.
You grace me with your attention, lady.
You should be graced. They seem to just feed off of each other's egos.
I know. I think, are they twins?
Were you separated at
Yeah,
spawning or
separated.
something?
I take that as the purest form of flattery.
Lahashiel and Hano just share a knowing look.
Yeah.
So she's just talking to herself.
A mirror.
No idea who you're indicating either.
So, yeah, she says, Ekanos is expecting a fourth party of guests, which would be you. If you would go in that direction.
But I don't suppose Ekanos himself is this lieutenant that you're referring to.
That he is. Ekanos, the host, is Ekanos the lieutenant. And with him, we would have the potential of spreading the parasite across the plains as well.
Oh, with a tongue like that, sure.
Oh, you should ask him. He's so very proud of it.
But, and then I look at Nahashia and I say, but if you were to turn him into what we need, wouldn't he end up turning into this? And I turn to Hano.
Then they would be really, really good looking.
I see the perception is that low.
If your concern is that
He loses his silver tongue.
no, the parasite created specifically for this is meant to be incognito. It's hidden. The infection is in the mind. Similar, it doesn't manifest unless somebody tried to kill him.
Yeah.
In which case, then it would come out of it would turn him into an abomination of some sort. But
until then, he's essentially...
it's him. It's him, except his goals are now aligned to Hanos. Not to Hanos, to Okas.
Oh, in that case, that means we get to keep him. I'm liking this path already.
As much as I'd like to just force someone like Gaynor the Unbreakable under our...
But his name screams challenge.
I know, but...
It says unbreakable. That's exactly the reason we have to break him.
But Orcus did say that he wanted none of his plans or intentions to be known.
Not everything is to be won by force, Hano.
I think this is one of those times we could just defeat it by force and then move on.
Well, you see, unfortunately for you, we would need to have an army. And even then...
We can buy an army. We've got the souls.
Exactly, but that's not even, let's say, a sure thing. If you know the expression. I'm sure you do.
We have enough souls to buy an army. I think that's... given this currency to buy... I don't see what we're going down there for. I hate parties.
I'm sure you do. But at the party you get to meet so many people, and with someone like a Canthus to actually be on our side, imagine all the other influences you could spread that don't even require having to spend a single thing.
Lahasha, what do you think? Please convince this creature.
Sure, I'll turn to the Lord of Madness for reason.
Well,
Point taken. Tiamat, what do you think?
well, sometimes, just like madness, maybe the effectivity would be like spread more if we try to take Ekanos instead.
Okay, so now we must do the opposite of what he said, because he's crazy.
But if there's kissing feet, I'm not kissing any feet, especially of devils. You are going to do all that work. I'm not
absolutely
going to do
no
any of
groveling.
that shit.
Absolutely no groveling.
Says the once mortal, now only kind of immortal.
Look, what are you getting at? You want to duke it out like right here?
Oh, Lady Tiamat, it seems that I have been, well, reunited with my allies, although they might not have been reunited with their creativities when they came down here. So,
Oh, don't worry. You are quite amusing. Continue your squabble.
Go, the souls can only go so far.
exactly.
I think loyalty, like faith, would
Why?
spread even further.
Why?
Then again, I'm
spend-
mad, so
So yeah, so
Take it
therefore
down.
we go do the opposite of what he said, and then
damn it.
he has inadvertently supported
Have
my.
you always been this fickle,
God damn it, no
Hano?
offense.
Gods damn it.
Not you, my lady.
Okay. Fine. If we're going in this direction, let's just get on with it already. I want to kill something.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Look, I'm fully armored and I have a great sword, and neither of those things are useful at parties.
Oh, I suppose I could just say that you were guarding me. Lord Hano, guarding me.
Tiamat speaks and she says, "Oh, fear not. You are. You've made quite a ruckus in the past. In the past year or so, you are rookies across the plains, I would say. Your name is growing. If you wished to introduce yourself as the Hichasu, as it's so cute, by the way. If you wish to introduce yourselves as the Hichasu Triune, it would not be beyond Ekanas and his master to accept you as such.
Oh, that's. That's the only. This is the only time I frown.
Are you implying that it would be advantageous for us to introduce
In
ourselves?
attendance will be creatures of great power. Those who hold significant influence, both in the prime material plane and or in their home planes.
I start nibbling one claw,
But,
and then the more I think about.
should the Triune has fallen now, but just very shortly, just a short span of time ago, held the sway of half of a continent. The name will carry weight if you bring it with you.
Oh, my lady. Unfortunately for us, it was a name that we. Well, sadly, look at us now. If only to appreciate your glory better, I would say this war was advantageous, and still, there were those, I'm sure, who would be eager to harp on failure.
This is true, especially down in the hills.
But
But,
if we were to come as your guests, under your glory, as it were,
While I would luxuriate in the idea that you would that I would be sponsoring guests such as you, I cannot afford to have my name involved. Should you be uncovered?
that's true.
If you wish to represent a different planar entity, then you are free to lie to the devils as you wish.
I'm begging your pardon, my lady. I only wish to exalt your greatness, you understand. I did not mean to, indeed, taint your own glory with our failures.
Oh, sister, it is.
Oh, there goes a mirror.
You would never shame me, I feel. But for both our safety, perhaps you might choose another guise.
Then I suppose our own would be the safest, as far as this little tryst is going to be concerned.
So you can, at this moment, if you wanted to change your, choose an identity, you could. Though several of you are only I think you have the ability to change your form at this moment.
I think
I mean,
this would be straightforward.
yeah, you can have like physical disguises. You could certainly request from Tiamat to cast like an alter self spell on you
Yeah, it's a guardian rule.
I was just
to
gonna ask for
change
clothes, really.
your form.
I mean, this is fine enough.
You just got your body back.
Yeah.
No.
And now I can't be me. Okay, so
I mean, I ate just enough to fill in the proper places. I'm referring to energy, of course, viewers.
see the doobly-doo for all the things that she's filling. All of the cavities. Okay, so so if you so choose to change your form and perhaps pretend allegiance to other entities, you could. You merely have to decide what you want to look like, or to appear as, or to what your cover story is.
Well,
Is there anything Lieutenant Decanus interested in, or
oh, that's a good question.
Acanus is
What is
Acanus reminds me a little of the Fae. He appreciates beauty, art, dance. In fact, the gala is currently being the gala is being held in La Sarvette.
dancing? Apparently not my thing, but whatever.
The dancers were very well done.
La Sarvette is the great ballroom. I think there will be dancing. If there were, if only there was a creature that could match my glory, I would dance with them. But as of yet, no.
I can't imagine anyone great enough to match your grace.
Neither can I. So, what are you going to decide to go as? You can go as yourselves, or you could choose another entity. Or if you wish for some lore on the planes, you can just ask me, like in a general direction of who is the god of like this and like this, or who is a power that is involved with this domain or whatever.
Now, if we were to just go in as ourselves,
Well, you do risk getting poked at for your failure.
as long as we keep our prides in check,
Or what's
look at you.
what'd you say? What'd you call me?
Carefully, would
Oh, do try not to swing your sword at me. I've only been trying.
Is this innuendo? Is this innuendo again?
I wink at you.
Okay, that was totally innuendo.
Well, you are
Because of the
Lady
state of swords.
Desire, so apparently you covered beauty,
Oh,
which
thank you, darling.
probably
Unfortunately.
Lieutenant Candace might.
Oh, Hana does not appreciate beauty. I suddenly feel so much better and such a surge of pity. But yes, you were saying, darling?
Yes.
You totally interrupted him. Now he has to start from the start again.
Yes, because I'm just getting used to like talking again.
Yeah. It's been months since he actually
Did you need
vocalized
me
the
to
word.
loosen your tongue? Did you forget that too?
Look, if we need to be getting on.
Oh no, it's called planning. Did that fall apart too when you came down here?
Planning is planning. Flirting is not planning.
Says the person who'd rather swing his sword all over the place. But yes, to go on, darling.
Well, maybe going in as ourselves could be advantageous, especially you are Lady Desire. But I agree
Yeah.
that we must keep our prides in check, and especially it is Devil's domain.
It is quite
What-
literally
you
a
are-
devil's party.
You are well, it's mixed entity, but yes, keep the pride in check.
Well, if we were to go into the hell under an archduke that openly consorts with a variety of planar beings, who's to say meeting you people just means an open mind?
Tiamat speaks to you. She says, I assure you your lineage will have no bearing. He only seeks alliances.
Alliances. All right.
Rather than listening to the mad god, why don't you listen to the glory of Our Lady's intellect?
Yes, my lady. I swear if she wasn't right in front of me.
Then you're at least smart enough to do so.
I'd have to wait 24 hours.
Don't hold your breath. Oh, I forgot you can't. Anyway,
Crap. I have no return on that. I literally can't hold my breath. So, Lahashiel is suggesting that we go in as ourselves. I support this decision because why the hell would I pretend not to be me?
at last, reason from our dread emperor.
Well, that's because now since both of you are so dead set on this this path into the
So you do notice things.
interjections aside, are you what are we? Are you suggesting anything that? Are you suggesting that we go in as anything other than ourselves?
Well, pushing aside the little no, that would be a lie. Pushing aside the potential for harping on our failure, as long as we keep that in check, we can bank on the fact that we built all that we did on our own, together. There
This
is
is true,
no
no?
reason for us not to do it again, especially with such a hefty sponsorship on our side.
It's true enough. So we are in agreement then that we will go as ourselves into Minoras.
Listen to the voice of reason.
Yes, Lahashiel?
So ironic.
Then you must desire reason, even if you are sometimes blind to it.
You know that things are fucked up when I have to agree with the insane one over. That's what I get for the company I keep. Really, I brought this upon myself. I shouldn't have summoned you to begin with. I should have said no when you.
The one day I break this facade of yours that's so similar to what you worshipped, to whom you worshipped, it will be the sweetest thing. I'm referring to this, how did the Shimori term it? Tsundereness.
If he had body heat, smoke would be coming out of the ears. But his face is stone cold. Are we going?
Not as you are, my lady. Even if we are coming under our own names, we are still your esteemed guests. Only because, well, your glory will be, as we say, an extension as we go through. Therefore, as much as it pains me to admit, being in your presence like this, we will require perhaps something a little more presentable.
Yes, I thought you were quite drab. I should put you in more appropriate clothing. I'm glad I thought of it. And you catch hellfire, and your clothes burn into something a little more presentable. What are you wearing? But it's only an illusion. Beneath the outer layer lies your armor, your clothing, the same as usual. So no need to change your armor class.
All right, great.
What? Well, not that you had any, but
Actually, I was thinking.
but what
So the
are you
letter is
wearing?
underneath. That's fine.
Is that? Okay, never mind.
Well, okay. You did say that a canis is fond of, is sort of like a fae. So maybe
He's appreciative of art and beauty.
So something taste.
Gasp!
Tasteful
But-
for him, right?
Yeah.
Not okay. It's good.
The leather is underneath, darling.
Oh my God. When you change your form, Hano says, "I have never seen you this covered up.
It scares me.
But oh wait,
So unusual." I think.
it is.
Are you right in the head?
tasteful, But imagine
Boob window.
well, it'll be a shame to hide these.
Okay.
Something gauzy, something light.
Okay.
Something, if I had to use words, something like the Fae, airy, whimsical, bright, yet oh so tasteful,
Okay.
yet revealing.
Goodness. Okay. All right.
Had.
Lasha, I'm gonna guess based on your mentality of madness, you are wearing mismatched clothing.
Oh, those socks are horrible.
Argyle and plaid. Why
That
did you?
tie does not
Who
cover
mixes
your
orange with plaid?
Tangerine.
Tangerine.
Orange.
Tangerine and lime.
So what? Oh my goodness! Tinfoil caps are so out of date. What are you wearing?
No,
It's totally the opening question to some sexy times over the phone. What are you wearing?
He was much more presentable than this backup there. Where's the power choices, my lady?
well, okay, since yeah, Tiamat did say it's that the lieutenant will appreciate the RBB, and it's similar to that. He would be in white, but his cloak, the borders of it will be designed with maybe the multiple colors of like abstract mishmash colors, just the border
Okay.
around his cloak.
All right. In what are we thinking about? Western fantasy style? Is it like an armor, like a formal armor that you're wearing, or what is it?
Yeah, maybe the type that when when a formal
Like a royal
soldier
guard?
at the
Okay. Okay,
that
alright.
one.
Hano will wear like priestly robes of the Shomori, the kind that you would imagine in the Edo period of, and the colors of deep blue and white.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay, okay. You're not as covered as I thought.
I like to leave to the imagination when it suits me.
You don't need imagination.
Yeah.
Okay. never mind.
Over
Says the Lord.
90% of the Shomori people have seen you naked. So
I understand you're jealous, but that's it. Well, we'll see.
jealous of? There's nothing to be jealous of. Literally, everybody has seen you naked.
Don't put your son, darling. It's not as pleasant to eat your own words as solar.
How dare you. I'm just kidding. With that, she says, then let us be off. Let us begin your venture. I've always enjoyed a good party, but it stinks down in Minaris, really. Swamplands. But the palace itself is quite grand, if a little bit gaudy. Not to my tastes. Well, down in the hells, you don't get to choose your you don't get to choose your hell. Asmodeus chooses for you. But I bid you adieu. You will meet Kindrelf down there. I warn you now that though she's one of mine, she does not bend as easily to my worship. A little bit prideful, and I have not yet seen fit to smite her.
Oh, such insolence.
I know, but she's well accomplished. One must respect at least her achievements.
I trust your judgment.
The
Unequivocally.
What's her name?
Kindrelf.
Kindrel.
She's known Kindrelth.
Okay. Kindrel. Okay.
Kindrelth. She is the self-styled Kindrelth, the metallurgist.
Kindrel, the metallurgist.
Wait, I found something better.
That one has such an ego.
Sorry.
Oh, which one are you taking?
No, I am already all white, so
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, I think the white is nice.
I am literally a lady in white. Of white.
Oh, it's so difficult to tell flesh from cloth.
Oh, perfect.
Hano imagines clothes made of flesh, and then he goes, "Yeah, that's actually really good, actually." I like it. Display the
folds.
the display your victories. Openly display trophies of your victories. Wear your enemies.
I'm sure we are thinking of completely different things, but it is to my own amusement that I think you're agreeing with me, so.
I don't know what are you thinking about. Oh, I don't know. Don't tell me. Okay, so
Better this way, actually.
So she says Kindrel has such an ego on her, but one can't blame her. She takes after her mother. Well, the mother of all dragons. Indicating,
Oh, Kindrel is a dragon.
so she says.
Ah.
One of mine, she says.
Oh, a daughter, not failing her mother. My lady, we have more in common than you think.
So I've heard. You are a demon after my own hearts. But enough, little bit of enough chit chat. Kindrel will know that you're coming at my behest, but it will make her no more your ally than it would Ikanos. So beware.
Such good children are hard to find or birth, as it were.
She says, when I birth one, I'll tell you. But it hasn't happened yet in the millennia of my existence, so don't expect it.
Oh, I would love to hear more of your stories, my lady, but at this point, it would be much better to be useful.
And with your opening line, we will end it there. And she says, now the river Styx should bring you safely to your direction, and under my protection, no harm will come to you as you enter Minoros.
Thank you so much, my lady.
She
Thank you
says,
very much.
I bid you be off. Enjoy your party. Send my regards.
The only way I know how, with the greatest of pleasure.
And sex. A lot of sex.
I don't know why he doesn't equate the two. The Shumori. Oh,
Ashiel grips your shoulder tight. Hano grips Ashiel's shoulder tight. You're my only friend. Do not, do not abandon me.
could have been the greatest thing to happen to your people, but
I don't. She bids you to jump into the pit that she now sort of extracts herself from. This gaping hole in the center of the.
oh, before we go, are the red dragon still there?
Yeah, he's on all fours. His head bowed as close to the ground as possible, and his eyes averted downwards.
I don't like forgetting people who have helped. Oh, not. I don't like forgetting beings who have been so gracious as to help us. Won't you give us your name now, sir?
He looks up to Tiamat, and she nods one of her many heads, and he says, Chrysalax.
Ah, yes, spell that.
Kriz
Kriz
Alax.
Alax.
Tiamat says, Chrysalax is my chamberlain, but he will serve you no good. He is long dead. But a soul. This is where
Dragon Soul?
this is where chromatic dragons go.
Red dragon soul.
She says, here in Azharul is the heaven, the afterlife of chromatic dragons.
Oh, okay.
AZH
AZH.
ARUL.
Azharul.
Azharul.
After that again?
Azharul, the domain of Tiamat. It is where chromatic dragons would go.
Oh, wow. Enough dragons go. After I turn away from Tiamat to look at Chrysalax, I give him a really smug smirk.
You can
I got
see
your
only
name.
you see only the very slightest twitch in one eyelid. That is enough. And
This has been so much fun already.
she bids you to jump into the hole from which she had initially appeared from.
Until we meet again, my dearest lady.
I hope it will be soon and under better circumstances.
And then I go, well.
Oh, sorry?
I just go, well. Then I jump in.
Okay.
Okay.
After you jump in, Hano grabs Lahashia for a second and says, wait, let's enjoy this moment of peace.
He's breathing again. Shit, I can't say that. I'm not there.
Okay.
You're lying.
Okay, now you go next. I'm going to enjoy the next breath. And Hano jumps in last.
He's been through enough. What's happening?
After he says, okay, now you first. Doesn't even wait. And
I say my thanks to Tiamat as well, and I'll climb the dragon with Hano.
so you leap down into a hole and you fall for a significant amount of time, but you land. But your descent slows eventually as it as you land upon a very lavish boat. What do you call those ones? They're flat bottomed boats.
Barge.
Yeah, there you go. It's like like a very wide barge that has several thrones and indeed yes, upon any of which you could seat upon. And
This nice squishy stuff. Oh,
Hano picks the tallest one and he says dibs.
whatever you're concentrating for, darling, I don't judge you.
Or is there anyone else?
Yes, there are servants that are all chained by the neck to the structure of the barge, and they are rowing it down this black river.
Oh wait, really quickly, I just really need to use the bathroom.
So,
I like to see it die in someone's eyes before I crush it out.
what are you talking about? We just started the recording. Okay. Once the slaves begin to sink their oars into the river, the surroundings become a blur as they move quite easily through the waters at a relaxed sort of pace, but you accelerate nonetheless as everything becomes a blur, and you just sort of speed through the remainder of the river Styx.
Nothing is heading the vessel, leading.
Leading the vessel or steering the vessel, you mean?
Like, if there are all these servants, who's the facilitator?
They are dead quiet, each and every one of them. And Hano says, now if only some people were like them and shut their mouths a little, and their legs too, a little bit more frequently.
And then Vixie uncrosses and then crosses her legs again, making her skirt ride up just a little higher. Oh, sorry, it's a long train. Adjusting certain clothes significantly across her figure. I can't imagine what could be such an eyesore. Then I drape my arm over the back of my seat. Again, adjusting significantly across my figure.
If eye rolling made a sound, it would be very, very noisy everywhere we went.
Well, you did value your quiet so much.
You're irredeemable. It's
Don't worry, I can't say the same for you. I have hope for you yet.
please spare me. And
Is that what you call a safe word?
I have that cantrip, but
Nasha, you have silence, right? Quick,
Imagine
save us both.
Imagine 10 minutes.
Okay, so now you know why he took so long before coming down.
I don't know. It was weeks that I was talking to myself. I kind of like
So when the barge stops, it stops at the entrance to a grand hall. the likes of which you have seen in the halls of mortal kingdoms and palaces. Everything is filled with gold and ivory. There are grand murals and paintings across every surface.
Now, Lash, I'm sure everything looks familiar. But try not to be.
Right. Well, it does have notes of angelic sort of angelic images on the murals, indicating some sort of irony here. And it appears as such.
What the hell? Okay. What the hell? Okay.
What the hell? And you hear a
I look
voice.
at myself in the reflection of the ground.
Hana also.
Sorry.
He has to work to artfully tussle his hair, and a figure claps his gloved hands as he walks out of the hallways, and he says, "Welcome, welcome, my dears, welcome to the Servette, the grandest ballroom of Mammon's lair." And he walks out. He is a well-dressed individual with a mask of gold upon his head, ram horns sticking out of the mask, leaving you a full-headed helmet mask type thing deal, and leaving you with some a minute to wonder if the horns are from within or attached to the helm. He walks out in his flamboyant manner, and he says, "It is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the third helm." Coming from the barge of Tiamat, I would assume that you are the esteemed guests that we have been assigned to receive.
You are as well informed as we have been told. You are charming. And I stick out my hand.
He presses it to the front of his mask, as you will, and you just hear a smacking sound. And he says, "Forgive me. The mask hinders me, but it prevents those who are a little less attuned to my charms from tainting the relationship, you would say."
Oh, I have heard of your prowess with that silver tongue of yours. It's a pity I can't see the face up close.
Oh, darling, my tongue is as silver as can be, and nobody has yet seen it, but it would be my pleasure to allow you to be the first. But business first, the pleasure later.
I forget we are
Hano
in
says,
hell.
"Oh, thank God. Thank the gods, all of them, above and below."
I shrug.
He says,
We are in the wrong plane.
he says, "I, as you have so astutely recognized, am Acanus the Silver Tongue. And you, my honored guests of Tiamat, would be the Hichasu, I would assume.
Charmed to have been recompensed.
Your war has sent so many to our domain. It is only my deepest gratitude to to welcome you. You are as much our sponsor as we are yours today. If I were to think of it. He says, "You have made a significant contribution to our stores of wealth, you see." She says,
They have been put to good use, if I may say so myself.
This existed long before that, but it was only fair that we use our grandest hall to receive our most honored guests, don't you think? Don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely, let's go. He says, "Allow me to show you around and to introduce you to the other guests, if you please. Walk this way," he says, and
I sashay down as I follow.
he offers his arm, and
I graciously take it.
pardon?
I graciously take it.
Okay. So he leads with grand gestures across across the hall, almost as flamboyantly as Velixis herself. And
That must be the firmest pair of butts you've seen
I
so
say,
far.
Lieutenant Deaconess, where have you gotten your artisans for these details on your
Oh.
Grand Palace, especially the angels?
Mammon knows a great number of individuals from across the plains, and Mammon, like me, appreciates great value. He says, but the Les Arvet is my little corner, you see, of Minoros, the city.
Little corner.
Wow.
Yes.
You give yourself a huge discredit.
Oh, it is nothing compared to my master's domain. I merely hold a fraction of his wealth, but a fraction is but enough with his wealth being so great and grand.
I put a finger on his mask and I say, Canis, you're no slouch yourself.
He says, "Oh, you do me an honor, my lady." And he leads you into the next room, and you see that there are fountains in decorating the center hall, the main lobby, the antechamber, which leads to the rest of the room. And these fountains are of molten gold.
It's like you led an Oni twin to a
And you see decorating the entire locale golden statues, but each of these golden statues appear to be in sort of a pose of action. Essentially, they appear to be involved in some great combat of some sort, and none of the statues are alike. Every single one is unique, and they appear to be made of pure gold.
Your eye for art is quite obvious. Even to the point where I am unable to say much else.
He says, flattery will get you everywhere.
I'm glad we are of the same mind.
He says, well, birds of a feather, I suppose. We use the same weapon. Perhaps we should have a duel, if you catch my meaning.
Well,
Speaking of duels, he says, and he before you can respond, he points you, he gestures to an offshoot of this room, and it appears to lead sort of like a small amphitheater. She says, we'll be holding a show match a little bit later on between a few of our guests. If you decide to exert a little bit of pressure on your fellow guests, not that there's anything to be worried about. It's merely for show. We are not here to slay each other, well, at least not physically. This is perhaps morally and honorably.
I find these are the best battles to be fought.
He kind of says perhaps a duel between us as well. But
Does this mean I get you alone to myself?
no,
Even for but a few
perhaps,
moments?
but let's get to the festivities first. I'm
you're
certain they would miss me if I were to disappear.
I can't imagine anyone not.
He says, and he bows a little lower, and he turns to the fountains of gold, and he says, Lady Kinjalf, please, we have guests about. Perhaps you might introduce yourself as well. And coming up from one of these fountains, which appears to be much deeper than it seemed, rising from the molten gold, a dragon, not as large as Kizalax, not as large as Kizalax, probably not as old either, but huge nonetheless. It is she, as you happen to know her as a she, appears to be made of pure metal, also liquid, mercurial almost, made of and with molten gold pouring over her form. It appears to create hypnotic patterns on her skin as it flows downwards, intermingling with the composition of her body.
Oh.
Wow.
I
Okay.
hold a hand to my mouth and I say, mesmerizing.
She says, "Charmed, I'm sure." She seems a little more brusque for your tastes, and she says, "I am Kindroth, the metallurgist, and you, I'm sure, are beneath me." And Akanas says, "Now, Lady Kindroth, they are fellow guests, sponsors, if you will, of this gala that we are holding. Perhaps we might be a little more cordial."
I incline my head and say, my lady.
I assume, Lady Kendra, you're the artisan involved behind these golden statues.
No. These are gaudy little things. You will have Icanus to thank for that. And Icanus merely inclines his head. He says, "I'm an appreciator of art. I can make it when I wish." And Kindralf says, "Looking down at you from up here tires my neck." She begins to shrink in form, but until she takes a sort of humanoid form. But she still stands about 12 feet tall, and an Amazonian figure who stands above you. The gold mixing with her liquid metals.
Oh, okay.
She stands. This is a little better, but not much. And the conversation is not to be desired either. Icanus, let's just begin this dinner and get it over with, and then be off on our way. I have things to find. And Icanus says, "My master promises you the location of the object that you seek. But first, some pleasantries." Kindralf looks down on you. Now that she has a facial expression, now it's easier. It's a little bit easier to read the disgust all over her face. And
Familiar too.
and she looks down on you and she says, I hear you are guests of Tiamat." She leans down close to within breathing range, and she says, "I don't care." And she stands up back to her full height, and she begins to walk off. And Icanus says, "One of our more prickly guests, but I assure you the others are a little more charming."
Oh, perhaps she is only so prickly because she is looking for something
Oh, indeed.
hard to find.
A little bit. She is, Kindralf is a dragon lord, you see. Lahashiel. This is something you would know.
Dragon Lord. Okay.
The dragon lords were the rulers of the ancient kingdom of Arcosia, the Wormscale Accord. The Wormscale Accord is familiar because they were the kingdom to which Kenneth originally belonged.
Oh, okay.
So the Wormscale Accord of Arcosia was a kingdom that owned almost fully half the continent, and it warred against its rival kingdom, which seemed to own the other half, which is known as the Netherreal. And they are the forebearers of Belturath.
How do you spell that? How do you spell that second?
Netherreal, Netheril. Netherreal.
Netherreal. Also slides off the tongue. Wow.
So now you know that the kingdom of the worm-scale accord of Arcosia and the majocracy of Netherreal were both wiped out by the Thantauron in the Great Cleansing 800 years ago.
Wow, history.
But here stands before you a living dragon lord, somehow escaped her fate,
He's alive.
I wonder how that happened.
and they are the dragon lords are the rulers of Arcosia, the dragon lords, and the rulers of the Netherreal, the quintessence, were creatures of great power, akin to Archfey in strength and ability.
Dragon Lord that came to Archfey.
And so she stands here. Says, well, she is a dragon lord, and they tend to be a little bit prickly by nature. Their kingdom wiped out and all, but the few that remain are of significant power, and it pleases Mammon to hold allegiances with them.
Your master is very open-minded man.
Oh, that he is. He finds from the plains that which he cannot find in hell.
Do you know how this Kindrath managed to survive the wrath of Aurelar during the Great Cleansing of Thantauron?
Oh, that is an interesting story. Perhaps we can persuade Kindrath to share it with us. I know it not, but that would interest me. Bring it up at dinner, shall we? Bring it up over the meal. Let's find out. Let's get her drunk enough.
I just love a good story, especially over drinks.
Indeed, drinks tend to loosen stiff shoulders, for
Among
one
other
thing.
things.
But not too many drinks, because then it loosens too many things, and you want something stiff.
I am sure I don't disagree.
Hano says, "Can we meet the other guests now, please? I am so excited, so excited.
Now we
Look
must
at all
meet
these
new
people. Look at all these people we'll get to meet." And
I can't imagine someone as well connected as, well, Kindrath is under your Lord Mammon, who is so well connected as he is. I can't imagine her to be still looking for whatever that something is.
oh,
What is that something?
he says, "I don't know. A good lieutenant doesn't kiss and tell."
Oh, such a pity.
He says, "I know, isn't it? But isn't the thought of me knowing something you do not just devour you?"
Well, there's a reason I want those drinks to come so soon, but
Oh, I assure you I can hold my liquor a little better than you.
among many things, I'm sure.
He says, "What shall we?" And he offers his arm again, and he carts you down this hall. And you can see that the Kindrath is now standing tall above her retinue, who appear to be made of dragonborn soldiers.
Oh, okay.
Each of them scarred and battle worn, and none of them appear to be in formal attire. They are just dressed as soldiers. And then Hannah goes, "When do they get to keep their armor?"
Because I always, well, didn't you always say you are above riffraff like this?
Okay.
Do you mean to say that you would like to, I don't know, be part of the riffraff, Hannah?
I don't know why you have to reverse it on me all the time, but
Sometimes
Fine.
things are better
I
upside
tried to
down.
be Batali. C2.
it's just going to be Vixie 18,000. Hano Sai. Okay, so Ikanos
Devil's tongue.
Ikanos leads you onwards, and you see that there is a something akin to a bird cage, high above the floor.
I had
to
one
the
of
ceiling.
those.
It is in the shape of a bird cage, in that there is a conal top and then there is a flat bottom, but there are no bars. It is just light
Oh,
downwards, and inside of it is a child. a Turathi child.
We also had one of those, and it wasn't Turathi.
That sounds familiar.
Hondo says, I am so disappointed they did not kill them. The useless little things.
I
They
thought
could have at
they
least
were-
died.
I thought they were so sweet. I liked it when I scared them.
Oh, they thought you were their friend. I wish that you had lived long enough to betray them.
I wish I had lived, but that's beside the point.
Something we agree on.
In this, we are in agreement.
A canvas?
Yes, my dear.
Is that a pet?
Oh, that is something for later. We have an auction today. Do you have money to spend?
Oh well, it would be a poor taste not to be equipped, as you say.
Oh, then you are in the right place. Today we are auctioning off a pure soul. This little one was captured on its way to the fabled Golden City. I'm not quite certain if you're aware of our arrangement with the Turathi. The souls of their leaders are all of their kind are promised to us due to some unfortunate circumstances.
Unfortunate.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. And he says, but this little one was captured on the way, and there is nothing more valuable than a pure soul. It will be up for grabs a little bit later if you would like to participate. Each has their own reason to accrue it. Some love the cruelty of breaking such a soul, corrupt it. Others wish to resell these pure souls as the power contained within can forge great items of great magic. And others just like having rich things.
And then Vixie just sort of looks into nothing with a smile on her face.
I glare at her.
He says, they say that her name is Mithvari.
Oh, she is so pretty.
She appears to be just seated on the bottom of the cage, just sort of crying to herself. And she says, her sobs make for excellent music.
She cried just like the two children when... Oh, but that's a story.
I'm sure you can tell it over dinner.
Among many things I intend to talk about.
We will be delighted to hear of all of your exploits. I'm certain that the year of warring has brought forth many such lurid tales for you to share with us.
You couldn't have chosen a better word.
He says, don't be mistaken, your pleasure pit is quite admired down here.
Oh, why, thank you.
He says, but first our Lord Nasir, he escorts you to sort of the dining hall already, into the next room. There is a grand table which is about 40 to 50 feet long, and already seated are several guests, all dressed in green armors. You see that the light, while permeating the room, is gold. Around them, it seems to cool into a shade of green, almost.
Sure.
And most of the armored individuals are standing, and you can see that there are, as you approach, you see that their armors appear to be made of leaf and bark. They appear, the designs carved onto their swords remind you remarkably of the Fae. And seated at the very center of them appears Nasil.
Lord
And S-I-L-L-E.
S-I-L-L. Nasir. Lord Nasir.
Yes.
It's the Green Knights. Nice.
He says,
Just the Green Knights.
In leafy armor.
Lord Nasil, I present you the Hichasu Triune. He looks to you with labor. He seems to lean heavily in his seat, and he looks to you through lidded eyes, and he says, "It is my greatest pleasure to meet you." And he speaks with great deliberation and appearing and seemingly in pain as he does.
Can you tell why?
You can go ahead and make an insight check if you'd like.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
I will.
Our first row is not first.
10 minutes to the end of the session is our first roll.
I have nothing.
An insight. Good job. No, it's okay. We have Lash for this. Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
But I am going to try tail anyway, and
Are you using my lucky die?
I'm going to guide myself. I can do that.
Oh my god. How did you even guide yourself?
Three.
No, plus your bonus.
Bonus.
Yes.
Oh, well, but 7, 8, 9, 10. Just 10.
7. Okay.
I just hate it here.
Yeah. It's difficult.
I am mesmerized by so many other things.
He says, I am Nasil
Nice roll.
Moribund. Nasil the Moribund. First Lord of Harrowvale.
First Lord of Harrowvale.
I nudge Akanos gently with my hip. And then I
So,
say,
oh, yes, my dear.
oh, don't be so shocked just yet. I barely started.
I was merely pretending.
I'm sure. Now, although I am no stranger to pain in my presence, I am quite curious what's got his in a tizzy.
Oh, Lord Nasil the Moribund suffers from a great curse.
Don't say.
He seems to be in an eternal state of dying. It is quite a painful experience.
Oh, I can tell.
Now you see, my lord Mammon is quite knowledgeable about things of great value, and so it's not surprising that many such individuals come to him to find the things of great value. And among them are great magical items, perhaps things strong enough to break Lord Nasil's curse. It is no secret that this is what he seeks from my lord. He says, but let's not be rude and whisper in front of him. He says, if you wish to know about my condition, it is easy enough to explain myself.
I just didn't want to have to labor you so unnecessarily, my lord. I humbly beg your pardon.
I have suffered this curse since before the dragon was born.
Wow.
This is nothing, he says.
Your prowess is nothing short of amazing.
He merely inclines his head. And he says, you have slain some of my kind in Shumori village.
Your friends, I hope.
Thank you. I couldn't stand those Shumori and their codes.
Can I tell if he's human, elven?
He irradiates his power. He is Archfey.
Wow. Wow, okay.
He says,
Interesting. Dixie's eyes just split when she realizes this.
he says, we over the Sullen now are a little different persuasion, especially those of us from the Harrowvale.
Harrowvale.
please do visit when you have the chance.
I do so want to.
This is what your thoughts so far of Icanus's dwelling.
Well, it is indeed one of the only things that can render me speechless. A feat, I assure you, is not so easily achieved.
Indeed, he has the eye of a fae.
Oh, my lord, I do so wish I had something to balm your suffering, but if it might please you in the slightest to know, I did have one of your kind under my thumb at one point, before, good had to triumph.
It does not always triumph.
Counting on it.
Come to the Harrow Vale, and I will show you dark pleasures.
Oh, you had me. Well, you had me. Harold.
No explanation needed.
No explanation needed whatsoever.
This is, please, Icanus. Will the dance be occurring soon? And Icanus says, all in good time, Lord Nasir, all in good time. We still have the auction, and then the show match, and then we also have dinner. But we'll see how the remaining guest is feeling, and then let's proceed from there.
By your leave, my lord. Nilagyan ng wink.
He inclines his head regally.
At that when we're out of polite earshot, I look at Hano and I say, well, considering our lord was in an eternal state of dying, couldn't you at least create together a little bit of charm?
He says, what Lord Nasil is feeling on the outside is what I am feeling on the inside.
I shrug.
He seems to be talking directly to Lahashil at this point, just not making eye contact at all with Felix's.
Such beauty.
Lord
that
Nasil,
is out of your comprehension,
I really feel Lord Nasil.
Oh, you
Yeah, you seem to have certain alignment with him.
Yeah, he's always in pain, constantly.
I thought, okay.
It doesn't matter what you think. You're crazy. Look, you're just here to listen to all of my woes.
when your best friend.
We're best buds now.
We're best friends.
Until we get out of this.
Shut up.
Until we get out of this party, we're best buds. Because you seem to hate this place as much as I do. I assign you to best bud.
So we have an auction, we have that show match, we have what I'm sure is a delicious dinner,
Indeed.
and then dancing.
Yes, I've
I almost
gone out of my way to court our new alliances with all of the pleasures available in the hells.
Is there more?
Oh, there can be, if you so desire. That's all I've got planned. Lord Mammon will be by, perhaps at dinner, and then we can.
Such an honor.
I know, he says, but he said he would not miss a chance to meet our honored guests and forge new alliances moving forward.
Well, I am all about building new relationships.
Yes, and Lord and Ambassador Fugris feels the same.
Ambassador.
Fugris, F-E-U.
F-E-U.
G-R-I-S.
Ambassador Fugris. An ambassador. It's always fun. I've had more than a few come under my wing.
This one is no fun whatsoever. Kindrath is more fun.
Oh, is that saying something?
Indeed. Ambassador Fugris is a manager of accounts. This is.
Oh, so necessary, but accounts of what, though?
He handles the accounts of Ragnis. Ragnis the Scorching Terror.
Creative title.
Well, it works. He's a primordial on the on the elemental planes of fire.
Ragnis.
Ragnis.
Primordial of fire.
So primordial is a power of the planes, but of the elemental planes. They are akin to gods, archdukes, demon princes, and Fugris Ashheart, the Efreeti ambassador of Ragnis.
Ah, okay.
And he says ambassador, and he turns his fiery forearms before you. All four of them crossed.
Like,
Yeah. And he is accompanied by similar such beings, but of lesser station. You can tell that they sort of burn. They burn like spent coals. They are white,
like embers.
Yeah, they're white ash and just glowing from beneath. Where he is just outright
flaring.
flaring.
How tall is he?
He is about your size. He's not much bigger than all of you.
But imposing.
Yeah. But he burns bright, and as you approach, well, it's not, you're not one to be uncomfortable in hot places.
I look him up and down. I go, biting my lip.
He says he just sort of raises an eyebrow, and he says,
Don't be so cold, sir.
"How much is your net worth? How much have you brought today?" If you have nothing to interest me, I don't think we have anything to discuss any further. I'm here to see Mammon and Mammon's it.
Step I see, not the fun guy.
Don't look at me. Not.
No support whatsoever.
It's like we haven't gone through so much together. Over and over and over.
La 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 la. And Fugris says, "Kindness, this is wasting my time. I've got far too many things. I've got far too much business to attend to. Must we hold this gala?" And Akana says, "It is by the wish of your lord, not my own, that you attend this gala and see to the prosperity of our relationship, as it were. Lord Ambassador Fugris, you are an ambassador, not just an accountant. Please mingle a little," he says. Fugris says, "Fine." And he goes up straight to Lahashiel and says, "What interests you?"
I can't help but smile as I watch.
Hano stifles a laugh and oh my god!
I know.
He says, "Never,
I
never."
help, but-
Yeah. He's laughing at your discomfort. What a surprise! Wait, give me the bag.
And the souls laugh with him.
No, the souls are moaning and groaning.
Agony.
Agony. He gloats over the bag. Sorry, I just had to let that out. He
I
says,
turn to
"What?"
Candace and I say, he does find happiness in so few things. We let him indulge, really.
Oh, the poor thing. I mean, that's quite surprising that he would find so little pleasure in your company.
Well, unfortunately, there are some beings who are blinder than blind.
Tell me about it. Eyes Fugris. And then Fugris just in a very poor attempt at small talk. What interests you?
I'm just here to actually just mingle along with and to meet actually
And here we are,
Lord Mammon.
mingling.
But what about
It's the
you?
brightest
What
attempt I've seen.
besides managing your accounts with Ragni of Ragnis? Well, what else brings you to this gala?
He says, "Are you trying to get a head up on the market? Are you trying to manipulate information out of me in order to make a better deal elsewhere?" No, I'm a little too shrewd for this. Let's not talk my business. Let's talk yours. What do you have to gain from audience with Mammon?
Perhaps a mutual interest in increasing resources, but oh, pardon me, I spoke out of turn.
He says, "No, please, do go on."
Well, I'm sure a manager such as yourself would be interested in not just maintaining your accounts, but increasing resources, as I have mentioned.
And what exactly does the Triune have to offer? Your time is done. The souls that you have given Minoros are here, and you are defeated.
I did not expect a manager of accounts to so readily stifle potential when it is right here.
He says, as far as I'm concerned, you're spent. What is it that you have remaining to offer? Mammon or me?
Well, I'm sure someone as informed as you would know that we have built what we have from scarcer resources, I'm sure. I mean, I guess you're Tohano. Enough said. That aside, our own wills notwithstanding, we have procured sponsors more than willing to perhaps share their bounty. But as Akanas has already mentioned earlier, simply kissing and telling wouldn't make this party half as fun as it could be.
You speak in circles, around and around. We really don't belong together at this party. Hano says, he gets it. Oh, goodness, he gets it.
And then I tell him, you try.
He says to Fugris, do you want to get out of here? I want to get out of here. Like, right now. Can we just all agree to end the party and go? And Fugris says, I support this.
I would titter, but...
So you get sort of shown around.
You try.
And so far, you have been shown around to these particular areas.
Oh.
You entered through here with the golden
Fountains.
with the golden fountains. You saw the arena, essentially the dueling room.
No. Oh my.
With
It's like an amphitheater.
Yeah, exactly. It's like an amphitheater. Where
No windows?
there appear to be many windows, but they don't seem to. I mean, they open up out into blue skies, which is not the sky that you saw outside. So you know that they're not true.
Aesthetic.
But the clouds still roll, and you can see that the breeze still moves trees and plants outside. It's idyllic outside, but it's false as far as you're concerned. And here's the great dining hall, and all of the black squares are the golden statues, all in different poses. All of them are unique. Some are male, some are female, some appear to be elven or mortal. Others appear to be not of creatures of the prime material plane.
Okay.
Your collection of golden creatures is quite outstanding, sir.
It's not complete just yet, really. But
Were they once living?
that is quite the question that you ask me. How much would you be willing to pay for the information?
Are we paying already upfront?
Oh, a little tit for tat, as it were. I mean, my collection is just art, as far as you're concerned. But I might be willing to share a little bit of my pride if you perhaps tell me a little something of your own. I mean, nothing is free down in the hells.
I can't imagine. Especially with so many things to desire around here.
Yourself included.
Why, thank you. But, well, I'm sure someone like little old me would have I'm sure you'd like something other than flattery from little old me. Why don't you perhaps tell me something you desire?
I think that Ambassador Fugris does not have the best his lord's best interests at heart. He seeks only to achieve the objective set to him. When the deal could be so much sweeter on my side. Maybe I'm not forcing you to do anything, but if you could get Fugris to sweeten his deal a little bit, I would gladly share the profits.
The man,
Ifriti.
Ifriti is a manager of accounts, as shrewd as he claims to be. I don't see any reason why he isn't. What
Ragnus has sent him to procure an item.
An item? How specific.
Yes, an iron flask. Those things can be so inconvenient.
What do we know from iron glass? What do we know?
Iron flask is a powerful magical artifact that can capture a creature. Sometimes creatures of great power.
Like a power? No, not.
Depends on where you are. I mean, if it's like on the prime material where you're like an avatar or something, then yeah, it could be. He says, some time ago, one of Lord Ragnus's genies, a nobility of theirs, rebelled against him and fled the fire plane. However, he has unfortunately found himself trapped inside of this iron flask, and Lord Ragnus wishes him to be found and retrieved and brought back for some discipline. But the iron flask is lost, but it is a very valuable magical artifact, and my Lord Mammon knows many things about many powerful magical artifacts, and so Lord Ragnus has sent him to bring back information of where this artifact might be. You see, all of these people, all of these beings,
They want something.
they want something, which is unsurprising. Who would come to the Hells other than devils?
But to want itself is such a delicious sensation.
That it is. It binds us.
Well, you want Fugris to sweeten his deal, and yet what he wants is something I don't see why Mammon would be so... It seems so easy. What do you want from him?
The Ifriti are slavers. He says they enslave races from across the plains. They form armies.
Armies, you say?
Mercenary armies, slave mercenary armies. Imagine angels and demons and beg my pardon. I apologize. That was in poor taste.
Oh, it's alright. To do it in purpose just makes it a little more effective.
Right. This is and mortals alike. All slaved to these Fridi lords. And Mammon merely wants
A taste?
service. But
I'm
what
sure our own adventures of such an army have reached his ears. I can't help it if he would get jealous, I suppose.
I'm certain that's definitely where it came from, this desire. But the terms are unfavorable.
For an iron flask.
For the iron flask. They have already agreed, and so my Lord Mammon is bound to it. But if Lord Fugris were to offer it himself, then all bets are off, I would say.
Interesting challenge you pose.
And in exchange, what can I offer you? Perhaps I can wait the auction a little bit in your favor, if you wish for a pure soul. It doesn't matter who you are in the plains, a pure soul is a pure soul.
Indeed.
Valuable and entertaining.
I'm sure. Ah, these toys, so easy to break and so fun to do so, yet so rare.
Souls are not that easy to break. They empower us. Souls are the source of power of these mortals, why they can rise up to such great heights. I imagine those that defeated the Triune may have achieved some form of power themselves. Let's be honest. For a change.
I bear my thanks.
He says.
Well,
I
Lord-
love it.
Lord Cats, as long as we're being honest,
Oh, I'm about to get it now. Please do give it to me.
if you want something like Fugris offering more, then I would have to up my own ante other than just knowledge about these statues.
What is it that you desire?
Apart from the auction, perhaps. Well, you've already mentioned it yourself. I would do so love a bit of your time. Alone.
Just the two of us then.
I would say if it was too much to ask, but you know my reputation.
He says, I have a few private studies where I meet where I have my private meetings with those who wish to speak outside of people's ears. I can grant you access to those, he says. You see the walls? They are not what they seem, he says. And he
You don't say.
And he says there are some paths that are known to a special few. They interconnect, you see. He says, I have a few secret studies here and here. We can meet in private if you would like, and we can cavort as you please.
Your euphemisms amuse me.
He says, I have no idea what you seek to accomplish, but I'm certain it will be entertaining.
Well, engagement is quite the thing with me, you see.
He says, and with that, we will end things there. So I will leave it to you to plan your
shut
course
down.
of action.
Have to plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is.
This is like way beyond Mama Tranit levels of wow.
You have to bring it into summary. There are 4 parties of guests. The Hichasu Triune, who have come, introduced by Ikanas as sponsors of the party. Those who have just infused a certain amount of wealth into into the lower planes, essentially, by killing and damning so many people. That they are being treated sort of as honored guests. However, you are currently the reputation is suffering a little bit due to defeat. But it kind of seems to be gracious about it, and even appreciative. He is working for Mammon, the Archduke of Greed, who finds his allegiances outside of the Hells, mostly because the other archdukes seem to despise him. And the 3 parties of the guests, aside from the other 3 parties of the guests, appear to be Kindroth, the Metallurgist, Dragon Lord of the Wormscale Accord, who seems to be seeking some sort of magical item as well. We have not yet determined what this item is. She seems to be the only resident of the prime material plane from this lot, but has in her lifetime achieved power to put her on par with with the company present.
And escape whatever happened. So interesting.
With Fugris Ashheart, ambassador of Ragnus the Scorching Terror, and he appears to be a shrewd businessman and who has no time for games whatsoever, and is here merely to obtain the knowledge of a particular artifact. Somebody who has pissed the primordial lord enough
To want to have to expend resources to find him just to punish him.
Yeah.
But he is a genie, and genies are well known for their ability to warp reality, and so they are strong.
Even that I think.
Yeah. And lastly is Nasil the Moribund, an archfey, a corrupt, a evil, cursed archfey.
Could have been you, Justice.
Yeah, it could have been us.
But you played.
And you have been granted access. You have been granted access to the hidden paths of.
To the studies.
Now see.
Actually, Vixie was granted access.
Yeah. So the map in its entirety is as such. The two rooms without color are secret. These are the secret studies that he wishes to, where he invites you to.
Avoid.
Yeah, avoid. He doesn't know what you really want, but he doesn't seem to sense any sort of danger just yet, and he seems fairly confident in his own realm, in his own house,
Turf,
in his own term. He doesn't appear to feel particularly in danger from you. And he is hosting a party, and this gala seems to be quite a large and long event. There is to be a show match, seemingly between between these guests. So this is a show match that you might want. You might also, if you desire to participate in, you can challenge anyone for any for any cause that you desire. If you think of some sort of plan that involves it, and there is a room that involves it. And the secret paths allow you to get basically it skirts the perimeter of almost everything. There's the green. The green is the secret paths, and so you can get from one room to the other, though circuitous. There you go. And you've been showed around, so you know that this is the amphitheater, the dueling room. The golden fonts here, the lobby basically, the dining hall.
Okay.
This hall leads to public lounge and study.
Okay.
Books here. The great ballroom.
Box.
And this path leads to his. This path leads to his office. The personal offices
Look
of.
at all the space you could have fun on.
I know. The personal offices of Icanus the Silver Tongue. This is where he receives business guests, typically.
What is under that mask? That in itself.
Yeah. So he, up to you. There will be a show match, the dance, the auction, and the dinner.
Dancing. Do we dead fish or do we not? Okay.
I've got half
that covered.
half of that covered. Can any of you polymorph into a fish?
I can look like one, but why would I want to?
Okay.
We don't have the parasite on us.
You do. It's in the
We
bag.
do, 30 pieces of it.
Okay.
So,
How are they activated?
they will hatch and then burrow.
See. Okay, I imagine I've seen this happen when Hashiel. I've been all over so often.
Yeah.
So
They typically enter through
What's
the
the
back of the
process?
spine.
back of the spine.
Yeah.
Not through the mouth.
No.
Damn.
They have essentially connect to
Brainstem.
brainstem, especially.
Yep. Interesting. So point of entry.
So,
Malumos, this big spread.
Yes. Which is kind of scary.
so you have just your best, and the powers of the planes are,
Precious at least.
and they are all waiting to see what the Hichasu will make of themselves after the fall.
Do we win or do we royally screw ourselves over?
So, we will plan this, and you can plan it outside of game. If you'd like, you can discuss it in the
It is
chat.
our forte.
So there's a Secundus, and then there's the Aryan's Journal.
Oh my god, I
and
think
then
this is like 3 sessions worth already.
Yeah, sorry to front load all of that lore. I just had to get you in. Get you in.
Okay, it's okay.
And then once you're in, you can start playing. Right. Typically, this would be a 6-hour session, right? Normally, and then so I spent the 3 hours setting you up, and then the remaining 3 hours you can do.
It's like not don't ask any questions, ask any questions, just get them all down.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you can ask questions. You can mingle, begin to interview. I mean, they have retinues as well, each of them, right? So they are not they're not the only sources of information. If you can't break through the facade of one or whatever.
Gotta find out how
this
long
might
this
be-
event is. How much time? That's essentially their time frame.
Yeah. So each of them is here each of them is here to get something, and each of them offers a mammon something in return. Right, because that's the way this works. You were here as sort of honored guests as well, but you've been given a significant amount of souls, and 1,000 souls is a lot.
It's a lot. Oh, okay.
I mean, it is it consumed by one person, by one fiend, would certainly be enough to increase it to the next tier of power, if you wish.
That's valuable.
It's that valuable. So you can think of it in terms of value. One soul could possibly be worth maybe just in terms of currency of what you can buy, perhaps 200 gold.
20 platinum.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not actual equivalence because you would not actually be able to buy it that way. But just in terms of at this level of purchasing things, resources and stuff. So you could
Process. So 200 gold
times 1,000.
Times 1,000.
That's you just add all the zeros together.
It's 200,000 gold, man.
Yeah. So
That's B&B right there.
you can so that's why you could also have used it to hire an army. And guess who are slavers?
I know.
Apparently they're free.
I am just trying. Okay, my mind
And,
doesn't work as quick as Pixie, so
Yeah, and
gotta wrap a head around all the bargaining chips.
and Joyloth is a Yugoloth, and Yugoloths are
Mercenaries.
So you already have a foot into bargaining with Yugoloths, right? I've already given you your features, so your features are active immediately. So you can just call your creatures from beyond to
Your friend.
your friend. Yeah, you actually have. I guess I'll give it to you next session. There are two aspects to your features. One is in combat, and one is out of combat. You already know you're out of combat because it's a familiar.
Okay.
Yours is you have incense bearers that can come in.
Are they what I think they are?
Yeah, it is your incense that can come in.
Oh my god, we're gonna have a party.
The short of it is, I'll give you the mechanics later, but the short of it is basically that when they bring, they appear as incense bearers, and they mingle with you, just in your vicinity, and wherever they go, it heightens sort of desire, but not just to anything. It heightens desire of that particular person, of that particular creature.
So just a single target thing.
And only to what they desire, what they are desiring, not anything.
To yourself, not to me,
you,
for example.
So, but what that will do is that will basically give you a significant boost to any charisma check that you make that involves what they desire. For example, if you really like money, then if you made money part of the deal, then it will, when you make your checks against them, when you make your persuasion or intimidation or any charisma check against them, then it will make a significant boost. But the first thing is that you must know first what it is that he wants.
This isn't a persuasive build. I'm a liar. Oh wait, I'm an imitator too. Okay, yay.
I have no. So that is you can probably bank in on that later. But so the first step is that you must know what they desire in order to use it against them.
I love it, God. It's so fitting to what I actually am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, try to make it thematic. So there, we will leave it there, and you can do your planning, and then next time on Hichasu Triune, Lahashiel dances.
It's like that awkward.
With Hano because they are best buds, and they're both like
What?
What's happening here? I don't know.
I believe
Don't
the
know
term on
where-
the prime material plane is wingmanning, though for what it escapes me completely.
Quick, dance with me before somebody else does. It's gonna be super awkward.
I hear this is a thing in Shimori.
Oh my gosh.
Quick cover for me.
They wrote about this in Arrowhead.
I died before I got the chance to read it.
All right. So, thank you, Hichasu Triune. I look forward to seeing what sorts of evils
Yeah.
we will commit.
Very nice
forward.
map, by the way.
I know.
I hate maps. This is a labor of love.
Yeah.
Freaking hate
Compliment
maps.
that which causes him pain.
Actually, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Well thought out map.
That took me a while. But
all that lore, all that.
Yeah.
yeah. So take some time to absorb it and find out what pieces you're missing. I mean, if
We gotta study what we're bargaining with.
you can,
Sure.
yeah, exactly. So you can know exactly how to leverage. I mean, I set it up, and I don't know how you're gonna do it, right? I just know your end goal. Your end goal is to
No, this
eventually
is
infect the
this
canvas.
is like poker,
These are the
but you know,
options.
And I
you
just started
bluff
later.
wrong, you deal, and then you come up short, you lie.
So you can perform both. And the dueling room is the dueling room, and you don't only have to fight out at the show match. You can also challenge outside or
So,
but-
Kano and
manipulate
Lash
others to fight.
wanted to fight Gaynor, but yeah. But here we are.
I would say I told you so, but he wouldn't believe me.
He is clinging
So we
at the
gotta-
fringes of his wisdom,
We gotta
even though
find
he
out
hates it.
How long does the
Gotta
party
mingle.
last? Look at the time frame. We gotta find out. I mean, show match. I have an idea what it is, but that's metagaming. Considering what we were talking about just before this, during our interlude, the bathroom break. I want to find out what the show match is about.
And the auction.
And the auction.
And I'm so looking forward to everything that you're going to do. I hope you wreck everything.
Probably.
I also look forward. I hope
Spectacular.
I'm half caught between wanting you to like execute this super intricate Game of Thrones style
Oh god.
political-
Let's see if we can actually pull it off.
political execution.
Bonuses can fail.
And then the other half of me just wants you to flog so terribly that suddenly we are on the run.
we have a party, we're like, oh shit.
Oh my god.
Okay, everyone, to Gaynor.
Oh shit.
Change track, quick.
Oh my god.
It totally messes up.
Oh god. Imagine, tries to sneak parasite around, suddenly gets caught. Oh shit.
I wasn't doing anything. This is a fetish.
Haven't you heard that things grow on you?
Yeah. It's squirming and phallic. Let's just go with that.
Oh my god.
I'm sure you've heard of the Shimori aesthetic regarding these things.
See the doublet-do. Surely, Akanas, you've seen the doublet-do.
Damn it.
So many reference too.
All right. So, see you next time on Oracle Accelerated Hichasu Triune.